Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Paranvere Sports Complex. Eliminator Day is what we'll call this. The 22nd match of the tournament featuring the Kingsmen and the Seattle Thunderbolts. The winner of this game, goes on to play in the semis starting tomorrow right here in the Paranvere Sports Complex. It is going to be a really interesting match with the Kingsmen and the Seattle Thunderbolts. The toss taking place a few minutes ago. Let's go to the middle with Lenny Achabar to find out what he saw. Let's take a look at the pitch and the conditions ahead of what I would refer to as the business end of this tournament. The ground staff and the curators, I think, have done a spectacular job with this specific pitch. Played on a lot of pitches here. This is the, come back to me, most hard and most true, slight amount of grass, but it is rolled in. You will get some turn, but the pace bowlers will love the bounce that they get on the surface. The team batting first yesterday on this pitch scored 130, but at one point they were 82 for 2. So that's less a reflection on the pitch and more that specific team. As far as the conditions are concerned, 6 to 8 yards north and south. To the east, about 65 yards. To the west, 71. Something else to keep in mind. It's a bit of a blustery morning here in Georgia. Strong wind coming from the north. I'd estimate about 10, 15 miles an hour. So watch for the batters from the southern end. If you go in that direction, the wind will stop the ball. Going this direction, it will be hit all the way over to field 1. So whether the team that bats or that wins the toss wants to bat or bowl is less about the pitch and more to their preference. A spectacular game coming up.
Well, that was pitch report from earlier, and Lenny Achabar was with both the captains. The toss happened just a short while ago. Let's join Lenny and find out what happened at the coin toss.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to the second eliminator for the day. Host team, the Kingsmen, led by Saad Ali. And we've got our visiting team, Seattle Thunderbolts, being led by Shashwat Kohli. We got our umpire here in attendance, and who has the toss? Heads is the call. It comes up tails. So Saad Ali, you've won the toss. What you will do?
We're gonna bat first.
Any reason for batting first?
We look the previous match. The pitch is playing good, and we just try to set the good total. And this is a knockout game. We just try to pressure another team.
All right, Saad Ali. Any changes to your last time you played?
Yeah, just one change. Osama is in playing 11, and Bonner is if needed is used as an impact player.
All right, so thank you very much. Good luck. Kohli, you have lost the toss.
Yeah.
You'll be bowling first.
Yeah, would have loved to bat first, but yeah, I think we have a pretty long batting lineup, so I don't mind chasing. We won the first game here on this ground chasing, so yeah, don't mind that.
All right, one other question. Any changes to your last time you played?
No, same 11. It's the same 11 for me.
All right, so same 11, folks. There you have it. Kingsmen, they have won the toss, led by Saad Ali, and they have opted to bat first.
Not many surprises with the decision on the toss. That has been the trend. Kingsmen winning the toss and deciding to bat first in this knockout game. Formidable lineup. Ramiz Raja, Sharjeel Khan, Saad Ali, Milind Kumar, Hassan Khan. Big strikers, big players. And then if you look at their bowling, Ziaul Haq, Aryan Satish, Mohammad Ilyas, Akhtar Shah, Anwar Ali, the all-rounder, and Osama Razak, the wicket keeper. Absolutely star-studded lineup.
That is a murderer's row of batting. Going to the Seattle Thunderbolts, who very frankly have nothing to lose here. Shah Faisal, Sujit Gowda, excellent batter. Rahul Jariwala, Shreyas Chitnani, Shashwat Kohli, the captain. Rishabh Mohan and Harsh Kakani. Then you have the big hitting Roshan Primus. Karthik Gatipale, young left arm leg or orthodox spinner out of Houston. Ayan Desai, left arm pace. Mayuresh Lakshmi and then Krish Katre are the 11. But ultimately, if you are Seattle, you are leading a relatively charmed life because you have nothing to lose. This Kingsmen team is absolutely star-studded. Sharjeel Khan, who will likely be opening the batting is a monster striker of the ball, and it does not get any better when you get through him. Ramiz Raja, a brilliant left-handed batter, or make that right-handed batter, and then you all the way down to Hassan Khan. You're not going to find a more heavy-hitting middle order, top and middle order than this Kingsmen side has.
Absolutely, and the scene is set. It is an absolute gorgeous afternoon. Bright and sunny, little bit of a cool breeze, which has definitely warmed up since the first time we arrived here this morning, 9:30. It was absolute chilly. Now it is very, very pleasant. And like we said, top-class cricket action happening. And if you're in and around Rydell, come along down. The entry is absolutely free. You can come in and enjoy the cricket and enjoy the beautiful weather here at Paramveer Sports Complex.
And all those names that I just threw out just now, the one name I did not throw out was Milind Kumar, and all he did the last time he was on this ground, 2 days ago when he was on this ground, was score a century. And he is obviously a high-level player, USA national player, the man who's warming up in front of us right now. Hassan Khan, also a high-level player, major leaguer, played in the minor leagues, of course, and also played in the Caribbean Premier League this last season. So you expect that this Kingsmen team is absolutely loaded, and they will certainly be the favorite team here. And that's what I was referring to earlier, Shafai. So ultimately, the Seattle Thunderbolts have no pressure on them whatsoever. If they lose by 100 runs, it's because there was so much of a mismatch between these two teams. But if they were to somehow spring this upset, and somehow magic happens, lightning caught in a bottle, all of those cliches apply, and were to take down the Kingsmen, what a story that would be.
Absolutely, and that is the fascination of sports. Both the teams are starting on 0, and they have the opportunity. And the game of cricket is not played on paper; it's played on the field, and the better team on the day wins. There's still plenty of talent in the Thunderbolts lineup, although the pedigree and class that Kingsmen have is at another level. But if you have the talent and you rise to the occasion, these are the kind of moments you want to really do it to, because then you will become a hero. And it's chance for the Thunderbolts. They will always have the support as well of the neutrals, because neutrals always support the underdogs.
Root for the underdog. I'm reminded of a quote from former ESPN Sports Center sportscaster Kenny Mayne, who said, "Games are not played on paper, they're played in TV sets." And so this is not quite on a TV set, even though we do have a TV set in front of us, but this is going to be high-level cricket. Shardil Khan strikes the ball as cleanly as anyone that I have personally seen in a really long time. He's at the non-striker's end. It's going to be Ramiz Raja who takes first strike. The opening bowler will be, it appears to be, Ayan Desai. All in readiness, as the great Shah Faisal always says. And it's going to be a mouth-watering contest here, Shah Faisal.
Indeed, it will be two officials in the middle. Aftab Gilani officiating at the far end, where the proceedings will begin. And Denzel James has taken his position. He's at point, standing. Probably he would have alerted the fielding side. Nice blue shirts for the umpires. Quite distinct when you see the pink of Seattle Thunderbolts, who have taken the field. Not going aggressive at all. Just a leg slip or a short fine in place.
Mouth-watering contest here. First ball from the left arm pace. And the dot ball, you want a whole lot more of those to start, but my goodness, what a mouth-watering contest. I've said that a few times already. What would constitute success for the power play for the Seattle Thunderbolts?
Couple of wickets, definitely. And we've seen it can happen. New ball does fly around here. The pitch today for the Paramveer, you had a close look and you came up with the pitch report, but this afternoon when the sun has shone on it almost all day, looks an absolute belter at this stage of the day. It's cold, so it's not going to get too dry and too slow than whatever it is right now.
Look at that, driven straight to mid-off. So a couple of dot balls you want to feel, especially since this team, the Seattle Thunderbolts, have so many youngsters. By my quick unofficial count, there's 5 players in the side who are under the age of 21. So not a whole lot of experience. From that sort of setup, you want early success. And this young man, Ian Desai, is a good fast bowler, left arm quick, and I think you've seen evidence that he can get it in the right areas. How important is it for him to bowl well here to Ramiz Raja?
Got the lower part of the thigh guard. I've seen few instances where that ball ricochets back onto the stumps. That's the way that the thigh pad is shaped in. Little edgy part at the bottom. It does change the direction of the ball when it hits it. Lucky for Ramiz, it just trickled along past the leg stump. Yeah, talking about Ayan, we've seen when he bowled Fuller, second delivery of the over, it did tail in a little bit as well. It was too full. Pull the length back a little bit and get that movement going.
That time he was going for the Yorker. Very, very full, almost pitching on the popping crease. So 4 dots. Earlier asked about success through the power play. Success through the first over, to me, might feel like not conceding a boundary.
Yeah, that would constitute a success. Someone like Ramiz Raja, who's in brilliant form. We saw yesterday he battled through injury to get to 78, a player of the match performance. How incredible that they get fit and healthy so quick to turn up again.
Taking the safe route that time, just running it down to third to open his account, Ramiz Raja. So he mentioned what he did yesterday battling through injury. He is a wicket-keeper batter, so can contribute in front of the stumps or behind them. Generally at the top of the order, likes to go hard, likes to go quickly. This young man here who's on strike, I think you would agree, also likes to go quickly. Shardil Khan, look out for that area down the ground. Really, if you have about a 90-degree slice of the pitch from mid-wicket to extra cover, is about where his heaviest scoring areas are, and he hits the ball a mile.
He does. He's worked incredibly hard on his fitness as well. Probably this year he looks leaner and fitter than ever. Still wants to contribute, still wants to be on the circuit. But it could be fun if he lost 5 overs here.
Well, talked about success. That 1 over to Ramiz Raja and Shardil Khan only goes for 1 run. Excellent stuff here with the ball from Ian Desai. End of over number 1, 1 without loss.
Flex up. That's middle.
During the mid-over break, we saw that promo. Well, what an occasion that will be when Sir Clive Lloyd will be here. You saw some of these images, the iconic images of him holding the World Cup, or some from his playing days. It's just nostalgic. Takes you back to that era. How was cricket back then?
Well, you are bringing up West Indies cricket nostalgia to the wrong person, Shah Faisal. Because these days I am, let's just say I wish for the days of when I was a young man growing up. Speaking of young men, here's another one, and that is hammered away into the deep. A little bit too wide from Chris Katre. Ball won't go all the way to the boundary. You talk about the fitness of Shardil Khan, and just for a split second, I thought they might be going back for the 3rd run. I will tell you, when I saw him, it was 2 days ago, I looked at him and then looked past him because I thought it was a completely different guy who I did not recognize. He looks, I would estimate, 25 pounds lighter than the last time I saw him.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. There is a little bit of something behind the bowler's arm. Umpire Gilani and Ramiz Raja looking to sort things out at the com box. And is it some reflection as or some object?
Oh, not exactly sure what that was, but Ramiz Raja is ready again. Oh my goodness, that's a good piece of batting. He was winding up for the big one there, Shah Faisal, and then checked the shot at the last second.
Yeah, absolutely. You feel like he saw the ball coming, and halfway through its flight, he said it's going, and then held himself at the last minute. Might as well, because that was good length, good areas there from Krish.
So it's always so important to find the right length. Look at this shot again. Well, maybe we didn't see the full development of that entire piece of batting, but he checked his shot right at the last second. And this now presents an opportunity for Sharjeel Khan to pick out that area that I mentioned that goes between about mid-wicket and extra cover, which tells me, Shah Faisal, that you and I need to get our catching practice in. That ball could fly in this direction at any moment.
I need to warm my hands. Here we go, Sharjeel.
Drags it a little bit squarer than I was expecting, but he'll still get a couple of runs, and in fact he gets 4. That easily could have been stopped on the boundary. Thought it was covered down there, not quite able to prevent it from going over the ropes. First boundary of the day.
Mayura, the youngster, felt the pressure, the heat of the moment. The regulation stop, the long barrier was breached by Sharjeel Khan. Generally, he does it with more belligerent and powerful strikes. This was, he almost overrun it. You feel like
he
it?
actually did overrun it. Cut away and gone. Oh my goodness, what a big wicket that one is. Well, if you'd have been disappointed by the misfield on the boundary that conceded 4, he will be happy with this. 8 for 1.
It's strange that this is one of the stronger areas of Sharjeel. Cut and pull. He's prolific. Just couldn't get over the bounce, couldn't control it. And it went straight to the fielder. That is a disappointing end to Sharjeel Khan. His tournament started with a bang, but it has fizzled out dramatically since. Once again, a quick exit for the big left-hander. And how about this moment for young Katre?
My goodness, Chris Katre, another one of the multiple U21 players that I alluded to. And what does that do for his confidence to be able to go back to probably, I don't know, his freshman or sophomore college friends and say, guess who I dismissed in Atlanta over the holiday? Well, it's not a holiday, but in Atlanta for the last week. And so that is a feather in his cap. The captain, Saad Ali, strides in. Don't know that his side is in a spot of bother necessarily because they bat so deep, but you'd have wanted more out of that opening pair.
Definitely, Sharjeel is their big game player. And his early exit, and not just in this game, after that 80 on the opening day, I think for memory he's collected a couple of ducks and a couple of very low scores. So that is not good sign. And skipper Saad Ali has literally had to come out as an opener.
Ups this one into the leg side immediately off the mark is Saad Ali. So you mentioned he essentially is coming out as an opener. When you're batting number 3, effectively you're opening if you lose an early wicket. But how much of a difference is there mentally between being an established number 3 and an opener?
There has been instances where the top 3 have rotated slots between 1, 2, and 3. But still there is a difference, especially when the innings is beginning, your 2 partners walking out psychologically, and you sitting in the shadow. even though in some cases it has to be probably maybe one ball at times, but still somehow this is one of those peculiar things that is the difference between when you're batting on 0 and you're batting on 1. It's just one run, but mentally you know you played the game. You know how much of a difference it is. So that is same as a number 3. Although you may be walking out to play the second ball, somehow it's different from facing the first ball.
I'll tell you something else before we get to the last ball here. Skied in our direction over extra cover. It's going to land and trickle over the ropes. Maybe I'll get back to that point after this over. Don't think that you'll mind very much. Ramiz Raja going over the extra cover. 13 runs come from the over, but the big wicket.
Just got underneath it. Just a little bit of width, but the length was there for him. Ramiz Raja searches for that slot early doors, and no protection in the deep because it's power play. Bouncing away to close out the over with the boundary, and it's end of over number 2 and 14 for 1. Somebody's days ended already. I don't know what's their plans after that. What are your plans, Brian Walters, after the day is over today?
To somehow, well, I assume
Not
that
similar
what
to
we
yesterday.
not similar to yesterday at all. I assume, well, speaking of yesterday, at some point my plans need to include finishing off the 2/3 of a bowl of goat biryani that you brought me yesterday that is still in my fridge because it was so much I could only get to about 1/3 of it last night. Simple catch. Oh, you have got to be kidding. 2 wickets down, about the softest dismissal that you'll ever see. 14 for 2.
Well, and that is the skipper, Saad Ali. Early exit, turning the face too soon. Did that ball held up a little bit in the pitch? Just might be the case, but went through with the shot too early and ballooned it up. We've seen some soft catches today, and this is probably the easiest of them all.
Oh my goodness, just looping up into the air. It is a simple catch going to Sujith Gowda, who never dropped that. He will have taken way more difficult catches than that in his career. Earlier, Shah Faisal, I mentioned that, you know what? They have nothing to lose, Seattle Thunderbolts. If they lose by 100 runs, it's because of the strength of the Kingsmen. Well, they've taken a couple of body blows here, the Kingsmen. 14 for 2, 1 delivering to over number 3.
And we discussed, and you asked me the question, what will be a good power play for the Thunderbolts? And I said a couple of wickets. Well, they've taken half of the, less than half of the power play to get to those 2 wickets. And generally, stats would suggest if you're able to get 3 wickets inside the power play, more often than not, you go on and win the T20 games. So this is the kind of pressure they've exerted. Milind Kumar has entered the fray. We ran through their side. The Kingsmen batting runs deep. They have great strength and depth. So Thunderbolts will need to keep taking wickets to peg them back.
And then to that point, the batting depth. Milind Kumar, who strides in right now, is the leading batter in the side for the series. 168 runs, high score for 104. That's the century referred to earlier. Strike rate an ungodly 158. And he is a heavy hitter, but he can also temper his natural aggression to suit the moment. This, to me, calls for a composed play. Going down the leg side here. Wait to see from umpire Glani whether or not this is a leg by, and in fact it is a leg by. So not yet off the mark, Milind Kumar, but early successes here for the Seattle Thunderbolts.
Yeah, it is, and despite Ramiz Raja getting off to a start, 2 boundaries, he still hadn't produced any scoring shot other than those 2 boundaries in his 8 deliveries.
So Shah Faisal is run down to deep third. Might just get one here. The reason why I was motioning to you off camera that he only had one boundary is because I forgot about the misfield down here on the boundary. That really should have just been one. But to your point, Ramiz Raja is, to me, a brilliant batter, and you want that aggression at the top of the order. Maybe you want Milind Kumar to stay in second gear for a while, not necessarily needing to go all out just yet.
Yeah, you know what? You weren't wrong in saying he hit one boundary, because that other boundary was from Sharjeel.
Okay, so then I was right.
Yeah, absolutely, always.
I wouldn't go quite that far.
Good movement there for a handy side into the right-hander, and Ramiz Raja, you'll have to be in Milind Kumar as well. Facing Ayan, your balance has to be very good. You don't want your head to go the other side of the ball when it's coming back into you. Then you'll become a huge candidate for a leg before.
Well, that's the advantage of having two lefties open the bowling to a right-handed batter, particularly since you've gotten rid of the two lefties at the top of the order. Slashed away, boy. Had there been a third slip there, that would have been right at his chest. So a little bit, I don't know if you can call it nervousness, but certainly not getting off to the fluid start that they would have wanted here, the Kingsmen.
There will definitely be nerves. I know they're quality players, they're experienced players. But any cricketer that tells you that at the beginning of their innings they're not nervous, unless you're in the most golden form of your life.
Sure.
And you're not Brian Lara or Sachin Tendulkar.
Sure.
Most batters will feel a bit of butterflies in your stomach as you first walk in, especially after 2 early wickets.
Excellent stuff from these two left-handed opening bowlers. They're young. Had their both of their ages together, they're still well south of you and me, Shah Faisal, but they're doing well here. 4 overs in, make that 3 overs in, 17 for 2.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and Tariq Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket, and T Sports.
3 overs up, halfway through the power play, Shah Faisal. 17 runs to the Kingsmen, 2 wickets to the Thunderbolts. Ramiz Raja, Milind Kumar are the batters who are now being asked to steady the ship a little bit and then fend off what is really a brilliant opening spell from these opening pair.
Absolutely, keeping the pressure on. They want to continue in the same way. Just do not give any freebies. Ask the batters to earn their runs, and if they do, just put your hand up and say well played, but make sure there are no extras. There are no freebies, long hops or long half volleys.
Milind Kumar, I would say similar to somebody like an Unmuk Chand, seems to have so much time to play his shots and seems to very much be unbothered. And even though, yes, you're in a moment where the fast bowlers are on top, the 2 left-handed fast bowlers swinging the balls into the 2 right-handers, you would think that he has the temperament and the discipline to be able to sort of manage this little tricky period and then go on from there.
And you talk about his 100 in this tournament, it came when his team was struggling. That had to be an innings-saving knock from him in a must-win game.
From memory, they were 42 for 4 when he came in.
Yeah, and they're coming back on the back of a defeat in the morning game because they had to play back-to-back games that day. To put into context, an outstanding effort on that day.
In addition to all of that, he took 1 or 2 wickets, I don't remember. but certainly was among the wickets column, and then took the most ridiculous catch that you will ever see. Running back from mid-on, looking over his shoulder, and a one-hander when he's maybe 10 feet from the boundary rope. And I don't know whether or not we have time to go back and find that. I don't want to put any more work on the production team. Let's just say, take my word for it, if you didn't see it, a spectacular catch. Apart from all that, he didn't do anything. Looking at this shot there, that is lovely. That is off the back foot. That is 4.
He rode the bounce beautifully. And he looked so elegant, just stroking the ball away. Sign of good pitch here as well, when you can ride the bounce and get it through. Have a look at that. Just a little shimmy, allowed for the ball to reach its maximum height and then bring the bat down. Just a little tap, but the timing was superb. Asking the bowler to change his game plan. Overcorrection. And a wide as in result. This is what experienced players will do to youngsters. They put you under pressure, trying to put you off of your game and make you bowl where they want you to bowl.
To go back to put a button on that last conversation we were having about 2 overs ago, about when you're the mentality about opening versus batting third. The same thing in my mind. Sliced away over the top. This is going to be 4 more. Maybe we'll have some more time to talk now because Milind Kumar is making the fielders go chasing after the ball. What I was trying to say is I can count on one hand the number of times that I've batted. Before we do that, let's talk you through. Let's have you talk me through what you see here.
Yeah, width on offer. So a leg stump wide followed by overcorrection again on the other side of the stump. And look at those feet of Milind Kumar. Just a little shimmy forward and away from the line of the ball to give him that room to extend his arms.
Around the corner. Is it 3 on the trot? Speaking of trot, that's about all that you see Roshan Primus doing from fine leg. Carrying a bit of an injury. 2 more runs. 11 runs come from the over. So they had a really good passage of play here, the Seattle Thunderbolts, but it feels like this last over went the direction of the Kingsmen. End of number 4, the score is 28 for 2.
And then there are so many that I can talk and then you can talk on the same shot.
So 4 overs up, 11 runs coming from that second over bowled by Krish Katre. So that would have been an over that he maybe quite not getting the result that he wanted from. Got 13 from the first over, so he's been relatively expensive, but he took a wicket in that first over and decided back into the attack for his third. Swipe and a miss from Ramiz Raja.
And that's just a very rare occurrence that an opening bowler does go through 3 overs in the first spell. And having seen Ayan bowl pretty well and Katre going for runs at the other end, couldn't forge that bowling partnership that would have put even more pressure on Kingsmen. And probably that is the reason after that expensive last over, the skipper has resisted the change and given his opening bowler yet another go.
Just there again, I just saw evidence of Ramiz Raja checking the shot at the last second, realizing that the ball wasn't quite there for the shot that he had in mind.
Sometimes it is that you don't get your movements in sync with the bowler and your rhythm is kind of slightly off. A couple of occasions now we've seen Ramiz threatening to bring out the big shot, and then in the last minute he's just not quite picking the length or the release from the hand from Ayan.
Slashed away, but down to deep third. So Ramiz Raja now 10 from 13. I don't know that you find a very pedestrian innings on the cards for Ramiz Raja. Not often that you see him bat with his strike rate under 100.
Yeah, it's funny that Ramiz opened and Milind Kumar came at number 4. But Ramiz has only played 13 deliveries and Milind has played 9. So he was deprived of the strike a little bit. It's sometimes as an opener, when you see a few wickets fall around you, it's not a bad idea to just stay there at the non-striker and then just reassess the situation, the occasion.
Lovely looking shot. Does that have enough to get to the ropes? Milind Kumar times the ball beautifully. Even across the thick outfield, he goes away for 4.
You don't mind standing on the non-striker end and watching and admiring this, because this is absolutely top class. Felt like he sliced through the ball to generate that power that you were talking about. Look at where the bat finished, right across. Good use of the wrist. That is quality batting from Milind Kumar.
Hammered, but straight to mid off. Reaction from Milind Kumar himself indicates that he might just have wanted more out of that. You mentioned about Ramiz Raja. Strike rate currently, I don't have that math in my head, but 10 from 13 is under 100. His strike rate throughout this tournament has been 150. So essentially 3 runs off of every 2 balls faced. You're keeping him in check. Does that mean that there's some pressure on him to start accelerating?
I don't think he'll be feeling the pressure since Milind has gotten off to such a good start, 15 of 11. He's experienced, Ramiz Raja. Realize there will be phases where he'll have to take the back seat, but as long as the runs are coming, it won't put him under pressure. It would be different if both the batters got bogged down. But Milind has started brilliantly. 5 done is 33 for 2.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man, indeed, but that one is smack.
Oh, this one is lobbed into the onside. A slow, short ball.
Left arm fast bowling up front, 2 big wickets, 2 left-handers at the top of the order. Any day that you can get Sharjeel Khan and Saad Ali cheaply is a good day. But you do have a strong batting lineup to come.
Thank you, Brian Walters. You're right on that. There were all big things happening in the first 5 overs. 2 big wickets, 2 upcoming fast bowlers.
Kartik Gatapale, the young man from Houston, starts over number 6, single down the ground. The last over of the power play, you don't mind necessarily bringing the finger-spinning left-hander in, bowling to 2 right-handers with the last over in the power play.
Well, we talked about the promising young bowling of Ian Desai and Chris Catre. And now Gatapali. Spin for the first time, but Brian, you've got to appreciate Milind Kumar and Ramiz Raja. We saw Ramiz Raja from since yesterday, but it's rebuilding time here for the Kingsmen.
Rebuilding time indeed. That shot says to me Milind Kumar wants to get things going.
Well, Milind Kumar, we talked about the likes of Milind Kumar, Nitish Kumar. They can tap it around, but they've got some big shots too.
Well, there's one of the big shots. How effortless was that? Think it carried all the way for 6. In fact, it did. Excellent shot from Milind Kumar.
Well, that's his first 6, but we've seen 3/4 of the bat of this man, Milind Kumar. Look at that. A powerful shot, commanding shot. And that's a batsman that has been in form in this series.
Well, the mistake I think that Kartik Gatapali made there was that he was a little too straight. When you're turning the ball away from the righties, look at this replay here, just striking and cleaning at his pads from around the wicket. So not much threat in that type of a delivery. And he goes around the leg side this time. That's going to be 4 more.
Yeah, Milind Kumar, even the good balls he'll put away. Can you imagine what he will do with poor deliveries? Look at that strength down the leg side. Even if he hadn't played, he would have gone for wides and maybe more than wides. That's a lovely shot from Milind Kumar.
Lovely shot from Milind Kumar indeed. Not the best of deliveries from Kartik Gatapali. That is the end of the power play. Started out very well for the Seattle Thunderbolts, but the Kingsmen have taken the last 2 overs to task. 44 for 2 after 6.
Guys, feel the team down. Bro, you're contributing to the okay? Feel it up. Okay? Let's go. Let's go, guys. You brought the wrong glove.
Well, things started out really well, as I said, for the Seattle Thunderbolts. A team that, very frankly, I think you could stipulate was not necessarily expecting to be in this portion of the tournament. A bunch of youngsters. They're making a good account of themselves here. But the strength of the Kingsmen, even having lost those two top order wickets, I think sees them in a better position at the moment.
Yes, Brian, they came into this game with 5 under 21 players. Ayan Desai, Krish Katre, whom we saw. And there's, of course, Mayura Lashmikant, Rishabh Mohan, and Shreyas Chatnini.
Harsh Kakani it is to start the first over out of the power play.
Yeah, he's another quality bowler that has been part of the Seattle Thunderbolts. Brian Walters, we talked about some of the franchise that have spread across their influence across the minor league circuit. We've seen this team, Atlanta Fire, and of course the Atlanta Lightning.
Rameez Raja has now faced 16 deliveries, has 11 runs to his name. Good thing, at least from the standpoint of the Kingsmen, that Milind Kumar has come out and has already gotten to a quarter of a century from just 17 balls. But on balance, they've not necessarily started out or gotten off to the fast start that you typically expect from the Kingsmen.
Yeah, you get the feeling that Rameez might have held back. Having lost a couple of early wickets, we see Sharjeel and Saad Ali. Certainly big blows for the Kingsmen. And I talked about the rebuilding time. And they're still going at about 7 runs and over. We talked about Milind Kumar, the only centurion in this series, Brian Walters. We've seen about 12 or 13 half century, but otherwise than that, Milind Kumar at the top of the heap in terms of the only man to cross 3-figure mark.
Tell you what, that's cut away. We'll get to the rope for 4. Not very far away from the fielder, backward point. But 4 runs nonetheless to Rameez Raja.
Yeah, ball outside the off stump. And this is a good slashing shot. You slash hard. That's what they tell you. And he picks up a boundary.
Shah Faisal would like to know, when you refer to they, who are they who say when you slash hard? I'm thinking it's somebody like a Shah Faisal who tells you if you do anything, do it well, do it with commitment. I think that's what they meant. Oh, this one would have missed the pad and hit that very small area between the batting pad and the thigh pad. Lenny, I know that has happened to you. It certainly happened to me. It does not feel very good.
Yeah, and it comes at a time in which we saw Rameez Raja had gotten treatment, not sure which leg yesterday. And he was down and out for a good 5 or 10 minutes, had to be treated, but he batted well for 78. And so the big question is if it's on the same foot, well, double damage. And if it's on the other foot, now both feet, both feet are in some bit of pain.
Looks to be batting within himself, though, Ramiz Raja. End of over number 7. Single coming from that last ball. 49 for 2 after 7.
So the batting card so far, we talked about Sharjeel Khan not troubling the scorers a whole lot, and Saad Ali fell shortly after. But other than that, we've seen a 35-run partnership, Milind Kumar and Ramiz Raja out in the middle. And they look pretty solid. Couple of wickets for the youngsters. One for Ayan Desai and one for Krish Khatri.
Well, we're going back here now to Karthik Gatapale to bowl over number 8. He will want to have bowled a better over than the one that he bowled in over number 6. 11 runs came from that over. You certainly like the ability for Karthik Gatapale to turn the ball away from the 2 right-handed batters. Karthik Gatapale, second leading wicket taker for the Seattle Thunderbolts in this tournament. Best of 3 for 30, economy rate of 6.1. So essentially concedes around a run a ball, which is why an over where he concedes 11, he'll want to do better than.
Yes, Brian Walters. And the reason you're saying that he's the highest wicket taker for the Thunderbolts is because he came into this game along with 6 wickets along with Khatri. But Khatri has picked up 1 along the way. So 7 for Khatri and 6 to Gatapale.
This is an interesting matchup. Milind Kumar loves, well, he's a good batter to both pace and spin, but he loves attacking spinners. To me, it remains almost a mystery to see when he chooses to go after Karthik Gatapale. Is he able or willing to just work 1s and 2s down the ground or in the gaps, or does he eventually attack?
Yeah, Brian Walters, when you look at, and we talked about similar playing types. You look at Nitish Kumar, you look at Milind Kumar, and there the players probably will use their feet to the leg spinner.
Well, the one thing that you don't want to try to do unless the ball is on your legs is to go on the off to the leg side, and that is on the offside. Played very well by Milind Kumar. Good piece of fielding at backward point by Sujit Gowda to keep that from going all the way to the ropes, which is where it likely would have gone.
Yeah, good over from Gatapale. You talked about top wicket taker so far.
Get a single here. By the way, we did not acknowledge it. 50 came up in the last over. You're at now 53 for 2 with 2 balls remaining. Make that 1 ball remaining in over number 8.
Yeah, partnership of 39 we saw yesterday. Ramiz Raja was involved in a couple of big partnerships also. So twice in a row, 2 different matches, he has had to really carry the brunt of the batting for Kingsmen.
Very full delivery, that one from Karthik Gatapale. Single that will close things out in over number 8. 54 for 2. $54 for 2. Probably not too early, Eleni, to talk projections as Harsh Kakani comes back to bowl his second over.
Yeah, we're still at this stage probably looking 140, 150, but this partnership has gone on for some time. 41.
Partnership certainly of 41. To me, a run rate of 6.73, which calculates to 135 as a projection, needs to be improved. 8 and over from here gets you to 150. I would think that that would be the minimum that they'd be looking for. If you get all the way to 10 and over, that puts you at 173. And even though this pair is explosive, the bowling generally has been very good and has limited and taken away the natural attacking ability of these two batters.
And Brian, when you're talking 140-ish, maybe even 150, that has been the par on what we have seen here. We have seen the high end. We saw 179, we saw 172. That's on the high end. But other than that, I think 150, 160 can still work in conditions like these.
Boy, did that carry Harsh Kakani in potentially with a chance for a cotton ball there. I want to see that replay when it comes up. What do you think, Lenny?
Yeah, I think it died on him at the last. Yeah, look at that. In fact, may have gotten a hand towards before it fell. So Ramiz Raja, we talked about how good he's been. Got a big knock yesterday. May have seen the Kingsmen across the line, and he's doing it today again for them.
Oh, that time he wound up for the big one. That time, that was indication that Ramiz Raja was tired of the big shot. But what happens here? What happens here? I think we're going to go upstairs. To me, Lenny, this is going to be very close. As the throw came in, don't think that I knew that there were 2 runs initially, but they will look at it upstairs. We will go silent here and take a look at what happens from the umpire's standpoint.
Rules are rules, same shit, bro.
So confirmation based on that excellent visual representation of that play. 2 runs got there by the skin of his teeth, Ramiz Raja. And I was saying that that shot that he played tells me that he's ready to get things moving. Going along at less than a run a ball, 22 from 26 now, and he wants to go big. You can tell, almost like a caged animal looking to cut loose. Might look for 2 more here. Good running. Milind Kumar is very quick, but they'll get 2 without much fuss. The one big thing as we go to the last ball here, Lenny, I think that they're going to be missing Rashawn Primus with the ball. He's a strike bowler, genuine strike bowler, but picked up an injury earlier in the tournament. He's in the 11. He can bat. I don't think you'll take the chance with him bowling. To me, that is a big miss.
Yeah, they'll come up with 1 bowler short. Seen good running from Milind and Ramiz.
Over the top of extra cover. Didn't really hit it cleanly, and he'll get a couple of runs. That's an area that he loves scoring in, Ramiz Raja. Gets a couple more runs there. So 3 consecutive doubles to close out over number 9. 8 runs come from the over. The score is 62 for 2.
He's not the impact there, right? No. Okay, just making sure.
Was it close or he was way in?
I can't. They always say it was not out.
What did you see? I'm just asking.
It was close. Yeah, it was close. What do you think?
No, it was close.
All right, guys, let's go. One bowler change. Bowler's coming right arm over. Right arm over.
Well, over number 10 going about to come up. Lenny Chaibar, I just talked about Rashawn Primus. I just assured you that he was not going to be in the lineup with the ball. Does it look as though he's going to bowl off spin? Rashawn Primus is as strong as an NFL linebacker. He is right now operating from what looks like about an 8-yard run-up. The keeper is up to the stumps with his helmet on. Is he going to bowl off spin? Lenny Chaibar?
I don't think so, but let's see.
Lenny, that is not seam up.
Yeah, he starts pretty well, giving away one. And Brian, we talked about the second eliminator ongoing earlier on, folks. The Stallions X have made it into the final four. They'll take on the Clarion Eagles tomorrow. So 3 semi-finalists have booked their place in tomorrow's game. The winner of this match will take on the Fire.
Lenny, I am seeing a man who is capable of bowling 85 miles an hour plus, bowling off spin. And you like the fact that even though we thought they were going to be bowler short, he's rolled his sleeves up and said, I might have an injury, but I will try to do the best for my side. Now, this is a bit of a long hop. Tried to go short. That doesn't quite work as well when you're not coming off the long run.
Yeah, short from Russian Primus, and not the kind of form that we've seen Ramesh Raja to be in. And look at that, pulled around the leg side, and he runs away for 4. And Brian, when you look at players like Russian Primus, it's pretty much the end of the season for a lot of things. And so those injuries are always at the end of the season, kind of.
Well, that doesn't help either. 2 more down the leg side, meaning a wide plus the additional run because it got away from wicket keeper Rahul Jariwala. Still 3 balls remaining here. 69 runs on the board.
Now we talked about a solid partnership again. Ramesh Raja and Milind Kumar, the only Centurion of the series. They batted solidly. In the last over, we saw a little bit of a half chance into the hands of the bowler Harish Kakani. Other than that, Ramesh has looked solid. And once he's fit to run, Brian Walters, I'm pretty sure that you could be seeing a lot of couples between the two. Milind Kumar there, both now on 30 each.
Gone! What a stunning catch. Absolutely brilliant catch taken at point. That ball was hammered, but what a catch. Wicket number 3 on the 10-over mark. 70 for 3.
Yeah, it might have been the captain, Shashwat Kohli. A brilliant catch into the offside, cut away. And look at that, interrupted by a pair of hands. The captain comes up with a great catch. And that big partnership we talked about is interrupted. It's gone for 56. Ramesh gone for 30. It's 70 for 3.
Double check, because I think this is second innings.
Right.
But this is the first innings.
No, that's the first.
Yeah, so we're doing the first innings.
I'm high.
I don't blame you. You've been doing this to me since yesterday. You're good. No worries, Mr. Brian Walters. Where you going?
So Osama Razak walks to the middle, and in walks Shaw Faisal into the box. 70 for 3, Shaw Faisal, 10 gone, and so they're going at 7 and over. Welcome.
Thank you, Lenny. A good partnership came to an end. Probably just about the right time if you are the Thunderbolts fan. because these two batters were really getting into their stride. And generally, the platform that they try to build in the first half looked to capitalize, but at the halfway stage, we got a new batter in the middle.
Yeah, we saw a big partnership of 56. Ramiz Raja again among the runs, Shah Faisal. And again trying to bail the Kingsmen out of early trouble.
Yeah, Ramiz has had a sensational tournament, you know. And again, his knock was important today in that partnership as well.
So new bowler comes into the fray. And he starts by giving away one. And the cricket continues here at the Atlanta Paramveers.
Nice, Mayura. Nice, Mayura. Select him.
Yeah, important phase of the game. And Milind Kumar's role is crucial here. You've seen it's never ideal in a T20 game to have two batters coming in the second half of the innings with not many balls behind them.
And Shah Faisal, I know you and Brian Walters talked about the youth composition with this Thunderbolt team. Here's another youth player, Mayura Lashmikant.
Running very hard, looking to come back for the second. And does it quite easily in the end. These two are very quick, both Osama and Nitish Kumar.
Yeah, good running. Milind has always been a fleet-footed runner. This has gone pretty well for Lashmi Khan. Just 3 runs in 3 balls. Look at that quality bowling from the young off-spinner.
A good chance for him to get into the game with the new man in the crease. A sloppy error in the field earlier. Mayura letting that Sharjeel Khan hit go through and concede a boundary, but his skipper has given him the ball when it is a crunch situation of the game. Showing trust in the youngster.
Yes, boy.
And this is what you like to see from the composition of these young players. Shah Faisal, a lot of teams will carry them, but not use them.
Yeah, absolutely. To not only just use them, but give them the crucial roles in crunch situation. That's absolutely essential for their development. 11 gone, it's 74 for 3.
So the action continues. Primus continues. And he starts with a dot ball here. Shah Faisal, 74 for the loss of 3. We saw a couple of early losses. We saw a little bit of repair work from Ramiz Raja and Milind Kumar. And now the likes of Osama Razak and Milind Kumar, they will have to carry the brunt of the scoring as we come down to the 12th and ongoing overs.
Yeah, despite their depth in their batting lineup, they still want to build another partnership. It's Ariel. Good effort there. The fielder just putting his body behind the line. I think it's Ayan Desai, the tall fast bowler. Bowlers will need support of their fielders.
Yeah, we're seeing another good knock from Milind Kumar. Look at that, good running. The throw will come in from Russian Primus. And how many times we've seen they're missing at close blank range.
Yeah, I think he was struggling there. Osama played and run. Quick bit of pickup. Yeah, not at the races at all. But now amends have been made, and that is even bigger scalp because it's Milind Kumar.
Yeah, we heard it from here. A big take safely into the gloves of Jariwala. And the big wicket of Milind Kumar. We talked about the only centurion in the series. Well, he's walking back to the shade. It's 77 for the loss of 4.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back wickets, really bringing Thunderbolts back into the game. What a wonderful catch this is from Jariwala, standing up to the stumps to Roshan Primus. Generally don't see bowlers bowl short when the wicketkeeper is up, but look at that for a take. It is right out of the top drawer. Milind Kumar was stunned. Both feet up in the air, but the positioning of the gloves as he rose with the ball, the bounce of the ball. This will go down as one of the most brilliant wicket-keeping catches. Milind Kumar goes for 30, is 77 for 4.
So Roshan Primus has picked up 2 wickets. And we talked about Roshan Primus certainly not bowling on his usual length that he usually operates. But he's picked up a couple of wickets, that of Milind Kumar just now, and got the wicket of Ramiz Raja. So a couple of big scalps for him. We'll come into both of Hassan Khan, who's come to the middle. And Hassan Khan gets off the mark. We'll close out over number 12. 12 gone is 78 for 4.
It's coming. 12 minutes.
Yeah, Ayan, no 2 on you, yeah? Little bit straighter.
Impressive stats for the bowlers. Primus with 2 wickets.
Come, Mayura,
And
come,
this
buddy.
side was brilliant up top. 1 for 8, a wicket for Katre, although he was expensive. Generally in the field, the Thunderbolts never let the Kingsmen get away from them.
So Hassan Khan into the onside. Picks up a couple of runs. Shaw Faisal, let's see what Hassan Khan has done during the course of the 4 games. 22, 12 and 14, and in one match he was not out on not. So 22, 12 and 14. His scores in this series.
Generally not required in one of those low-scoring games. He
Bold, Mayura, that's a really good spot.
top score came in that, but he will rise to the occasion, no doubt.
Really good spot, Mayura.
He's a better surface, not to
Nice,
forget
Mayura.
his
Couple of dots for you
contributions
now,
with
buddy.
the ball as well throughout the tournament and in the field. But yet, today's the moment. Stage is set for him.
Yeah, guided away a chase here for Roshan Primus, and he trots back. And always was going to be a couple of runs, considering that we talked about Roshan Primus not fully fit. 2 runs off the bat of Razak.
Primus not on prime fitness at this stage of his career. But still extremely experienced and skillful.
So Shaw Faisal, we're watching, folks. If you're following the feed, we're watching the second eliminator today. We talked about Stallion X already through and into the semi-final. They will take on Clarion Eagles tomorrow. And we're still waiting for the winner in this clash, who will come up against the Atlanta Fire. And both of those games will be played right here. And if you're watching the MLC network, lots to catch up on. You can revert back and catch up the other games during the course of the last 3 days. And if you're a numbers person, you can go to PVCC Cricket Clubs and catch all the information. The fielder comes in, ball may have died in front of him, and they come back for a couple of runs.
Have to have a closer look. Did that carry Fielder had to dive forward. Sama looking to go big. It did carry only just, but a terrific effort. Still can't go down as a missed opportunity. 13 gone, it's 86 for 4.
Two for 12 so far from Roshan Primus. It's a big appeal ball. Probably sliding down the leg side. And they cross through for a leg bye.
Crucial innings for Osama Razak as well. Crucial stage of the game in partnership with Hassan Khan. The mercurial player Hassan Khan, like you said, Lenny, his stats with the bat, especially in this tournament, hasn't been as impressive as you come to expect from Hassan. Conditions have been difficult. His team has been dominant. You see this wide, and Hassan Khan is the kind of player who rises to big stage. There's still plenty of cricket left in this tournament with crunch matches starting from today. And Hassan Khan is in the thick of things.
Yeah, ball worked into the onside, challenging the fielder. They'll stay for one. Not a bad over here from Roshan Primus. We talked about a couple of wickets for him already. And while he wasn't able to bowl off his full run, Shah Faisal, his effectiveness has certainly contributed here for the Thunderbolts.
And there is no substitute for experience. As we see another single knocked away into the gap. And Promise, like I said, he's not in peak fitness, but he knows his craft. He knows how to use the conditions.
Yeah, ball pulled but not timed. And they'll get a single. Still a very good over here from Roshan Primus.
He's still not shy of bowling that short pitch delivery. It never goes away from the armory of a fast bowler. Even if your body doesn't want to do it in the later stages of your career, your mind does want it.
In the air, easy catch. Roshan Primus has picked up his third. Another wicket goes down.
And this is Hassan Khan. That is a big wicket. This could really make a difference to the eventual total that the Kingsmen will get. Hassan Khan, his lean trot continues with the bat. Was slow delivery, thrown wide by Roshan Primus. Just a little puff of dust, and it went straight up. And an easy take. Thunderbolts really looking good here and keeping the pressure on by taking wickets. It's 5 down now for 92.
So Anwar Ali walks to the middle. 14 overs gone, Shah Faisal. And they worry whether or not it would have been effective for Roshan Primus to get off his run. It doesn't matter. Off the short run, he's picked up 3.
3 for 17 in 3 overs. That is a terrific return for the experienced man.
Let's go,
Pretty
Mayura.
happy, the Thunderbolts camp. They've got the much fancied side.
So a big strike from Osama Razak, and it's gone across the fence into the next field, and that means that is gone for 6.
Yeah, the top side as Kingsmen are, despite the fall of the wicket. Osama goes big. That is neatly picked up. Too full, you'd have to say, but it had to be hit, and it got hit beautifully.
And Shah Faisal, you were making the point, I think a couple of days ago, Osama Razak is a wicket keeper, but we have seen in this series the preference to go with Ramiz Raja.
Keep using the wicket. Keep using the wicket. Bowling
He
really
did keep
well
in a
here,
couple of
buddy.
games, Osama, but they have the option.
Yes, boy.
Probably they would want him to
Good,
keep
Mayura. That's
keeping
your
in mind
line. That's your
Ramiz's
line,
injury,
Mayura.
but Ramiz looked pretty fluent today in terms of his running and movement, so choices.
So ball peels off the inner edge, goes into the direction of a man who has made a big impression in this game, Shah Faisal. 3 wickets for Russian Primus.
Bowling,
Still
Mayura.
got
Bowling,
1 over
buddy.
to go. Interesting to see that since he's nice and loose at this stage, the skipper would want him to bowl that 1 over.
So into the onside, the 100 comes up for the Kingsmen. And it comes in 14.4, 100 on the board for the Kingsmen.
Mayura. One wicket here,
Yeah,
one wicket here
first
for you,
milestone
Mayura.
for the Kingsmen. Still be aiming around that 150, 160 mark. Despite the loss of wickets, Anwar Ali is very capable. Osama Razak has
Bowling,
shown
Mayura.
that what he can do. He still have batting to come. Even after this, we'd seen what Ilyas could do with the bat yesterday. We saw him bludgeon 3 sixes in 1 over.
Yeah, ball worked into the onside, Anwar Ali. They'll come back for a couple of runs, a bit of fumble. That will complete 15. So 15 gone, it's 103 for 5.
Three for 5. Slania Chabar has left the comm box, and I'm proud and privileged to announce that in the comm box we got the owner and chairman of this Atlanta Open, and also a proud owner of Atlanta Fire cricket franchise as well, Mr. Hassan Tariq. Watch this chipped into the gap. They come back for the second. Quite. So Hassan Tariq is the man behind this Atlanta Open, and I've been also fortunate enough to see the journey from day one. First of all, thank you very much, Hassan, for your time. I know you're pretty busy. Welcome along to the comm box.
Thank you for having me.
This journey, I remember going back in the day, but I want to hear from you. How did idea come along, and how's been the journey so far? Take us all the way.
You know, you were with us from the very beginning when we started this. 2018, we formed Atlanta Fire, and we're playing different tournaments, whether or not it's Florida or Wisconsin, LA. During this time, you know, I feel like we can do something similar or even better in city of Atlanta for the people of Atlanta, for the cricketers and the teams and the local communities. So had a vision that we want to create a tournament, open tournament, a very top high-class tournament. So that's where the whole idea came from, the Atlanta Open.
Yeah, the growth and the development of the tournament and the quality has certainly risen since that point. and with different winners every year, it also is a testament to how competitive the whole field has been over the years.
Yes, so yeah, different winner every year except for the Atlanta Fire yet, so yet to come. Absolutely, we have had the pleasure to have many different teams throughout the country and the players from all over the world participating in this tournament. And the more and variety, you know, you don't want to make it boring, have everybody, some team win every tournament. So we want to distribute the wealth and and the pleasure of winning the championship in Atlanta.
Again, we see the shiny, glittery picture on the screen, the tournament, the social media pages, they present a beautiful look, but I'm pretty sure there are many challenges behind the scenes, and they have been over the years.
The, you know, definitely putting together this caliber tournament with this many team, mostly traveling team, the venue, the whole logistics. It's a lot of work, and we start to prepare like 5-6 months prior to the tournament. Each year we announce our tournament very early, so that way we can plan ahead, and that's how, you know, we can meet our timing, our deadlines, our logistics with the other teams. So, yeah, I have a great management team supporting us in this tournament, and we've been doing this for, you know, this is our 5th year. So, seems like it's getting better, and we started learning as we go, and it's getting easier. And one way to say it, to be honest, and we know what to do basically, and we're just trying to execute it at a high level.
Yeah, you talk about your management team, and I'm a witness to that as we watch Karthik Gadapalli start off, looking to keep the pressure on. Only 4 overs to go. Yeah, the management team and the support team that you've got, they're really professional, and like you said, you announced the tournament way early, a lot different than a lot of the other tournaments. And that is a testament to how you do things, and that is a wicket at the same time as well. Osama goes, and wickets continue to tumble, and that keeps the Thunderbolts in the game. Razak gone for 21, 106 for 5. Was looking to clear that infield. Got it top edge, and it went straight to the fielder. Dramatic tumble in the end, but in all honesty, it wasn't a very difficult catch as the ball was in the air for quite a long time. Allowed him the time to cover the distance and catch the ball. It's 106 for 6. Coming back to the management team that you have and the way they do things, you must be very proud of them, and they're a great help.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I could not take the credit to myself. If I didn't have this strong backing with the management, I would not be able to do this. All across, even if you think about you guys, you know, like the commentating group, even the umpires group, the field setup, I think it's become a family, Atlanta Open family, that we know when the time comes, everybody look forward to it, everybody excited, and we execute. Each year, we execute really properly with overall help.
Ilyas, the new man in. You mentioned the family, and I always see your family around as well. Plenty of support from them. I know you work so hard. You take a lot of time out of your personal life as well. So great support. Your mom, your wife, your beautiful kids. We see them all the time here.
Yeah, you know, along with the management support, I have to give credit to my family, my mom, my wife, allowing me to come in, spend so much time in cricket. Sometimes you don't, you know, see my family for months or weeks in a row, a proper time to give them. And, you know, I try to make it up after the season, but I really appreciate my family to support me.
Chance there. No, the throw was weak. And talking about the evolution of the tournament, if you go back, we started with many more teams than we're seeing this year. Last year even we had 12 to begin with. We had 16. So 10 teams this year. What's the reason behind that?
So we are trying to improve the quality of the teams. Even if it's a academy team, we want to make sure that the level of the gap between the teams are not much. We want to give our youngsters opportunity to expose, participate and get experience against some strong players, at the same time trying to show their skills. So I think this will create the growth in the future. So reducing number of teams to improve the quality of the tournaments and the quality of the teams, that was the goal. And we tried different format and to see how it works better. It's still a learning process for us. Managing multiple fields at the same time versus less number of fields with teams, we can provide better quality for the tournament side as well as the teams.
You make a good point, because if you look at the field this year, has been super competitive. Yesterday was the last day of the group stages, and going into the last 5 overs, the qualification wasn't sealed for the knockout stage. So that is definitely has an improvement in terms of the quality matches we've seen and close contests throughout the tournament this year. Plans for future, always a big question, because you've come here, you've achieved success, you've created a brand. Watch this single. Ilyas will not come back for the second. What next?
Continue, continue to improve our quality, our broadcasting. We know we use this venue. We were also looking into having our personal venue that we can continue to progress cricket. We want to work with the local academies, give them a pathway with our under-19 teams to minor league, through major league, and also USA cricket. So this is, to help grow cricket in grassroots in America, especially in Atlanta, it's our hometown.
Another tangle, another single. They're not looking comfortable, the Kingsmen. Well, I know you're pretty busy, Hassan. Thank you very much for your time, for coming over and having a chat to us. And we're really proud of you for your efforts with this tournament and overall your contribution to the cricket in this area, in this country. And we look forward to be a part of it, and we still look forward to be part of the journey going onwards and achieving bigger and better things.
Absolutely, thank you. And as you know that we are bringing Star Clive Lloyd as our chief guest for our playoff game tomorrow and Sunday.
Chance and taken. Well, Kingsmen are really struggling. Mayura with the catch, and this time it's Ilyas who walks back. 113 for 7 now is a big upset on the card. That's the level of competition we were talking about earlier with Hassan. Even the star-studded Kingsmen, they are looking under immense pressure, under a team that is boasting 5 under-21 players from Seattle Thunderbolts. Thanking Hassan Tariq once again for his time as the action continues, and we brace ourselves for a major shock here at the Atlanta Open. Thank you very much, Hassan.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, sir.
Stop it, Lenny. Stop. Wait for me.
Middle. Coming right time over to you. Got 2 balls to go.
Harsh Kakani. Ziaul Haq, the new man in. Anwar Ali still in. He's capable of a grandstand finish. But things are not going to plan for Kingsmen. Welcome along, Brian Walters. Upset on the cards here.
If I told you that we were talking about a partnership between Ziaul Haq and Anwar Ali Khan, you would have thought I was talking about with the new ball. This is incredible.
Yeah, the boundaries haven't come. The partnerships After that, Ramiz Raja, Milind Kumar partnership, nothing of any substance. 18 gone, 115 for 7.
Go boys, a good finish, lads. Harish.
2 overs to go. How many Kingsmen can manage from here? They need at least 15 to make it to 130. 25 in 2 will take them to 140. And Morelli will look to come back for the second. Lost the ball for a moment.
Well, Shaf, I saw you think, or I think that you would agree with me that you could classify Anwar Ali Khan as a bowling all-rounder. He can hit a long ball. Not the most technically correct, but he's as strong as houses, can clear the ropes.
Catch it.
Top edge. And taken. Well. The catching has been sensational from the Thunderbolts. And one big hitter after the other are departing. And in a heap too.
Well, I didn't get to finish my thought about Anwar Ali Khan, and I guess it doesn't matter now. What he tried to do there was drag a ball that is well outside the line of off stump, that was probably on a 6th stump line. Tried to drag that over the fence on the bigger side of the ground. Remember, we're playing on the easternmost pitch, so that ball would have had to travel about 74 yards to get to the rope. And he got a lot of it, but not nearly enough of it. As strong as he is, he was not able to muscle that over the rope. So we are 8 wickets down. We spent 10 minutes this morning or earlier in the game talking about the strength of the top order. Didn't think there was any need to describe the lower middle order, to certainly not the bowlers, because with the power of the batting lineup, you'd have expected much more out of them today than they've shown you.
Aryan Satish, the new man, in. Well, they're in serious risk of getting bowled out even before 20.
This pair of Houstonians, both of them from Houston. Aryan Satish slightly younger than Karthik Gatapali, but they would have played against each other in the Houston Cricket League, and this is one that Aryan Satish is going to want to win. At minimum, just get a few runs here at the end.
How about that? A switch hit. And the chase is on. Probably the umpires will want to need the help of technology to find out. It was a clean save, but good stroke from the youngster. Getting some runs. 130 is a bare minimum, I thought, on this pitch.
On this pitch, I was thinking good pacey wicket, solid batters, like the ball coming onto the bats. I would have thought 170 was the minimum that they would have been looking for. Taking a look at this again, the reverse sweep going over the top and maybe just piercing that little gap behind square. Umpires are taking a look. We'll be quiet and have them make that decision.
Shreyas, the fielder. The decision has been communicated. It was pretty evident from that picture that it was a clean save.
Oh, goodness, yes. So the rest of the point I was trying to make, Shah Faisal, is that Ziaul Haq can also help himself with the bats. Was actually had the highest strike rate of all the batters in his team. Obviously didn't bat as long this past season, but I saw him play in a game a couple of weeks ago where they came in chasing and he scored 12 from the 3 balls that he faced. so he can help himself with the bat. Interesting to see what he chooses to do here.
Big swing and a miss. Ketapali finishes off 2 for 26. Excellent work with the ball from the left armer with 1 to go. Kingsmen 120 for 8.
The production team here is fantastic. And Desai going to be bowling the last over. And one of the things that I like, not only do we have all the resources right here in the stadium or in the facility, we also have resources all over the country who are correcting us when we slip up.
What did we do again?
Oh, it's not we. It's absolutely me. I have been corrected that Kartik Gatapal is actually from Dallas, not Houston. And he played for the Houston Hurricanes for a number of years. Maybe that's why I made that mistake.
Looking to be inventive, Aryan Satish. Yeah, just a word on the production team. The Sports 360, the production, it's gone up several notches today for these eliminators and then semi-finals and the finals. We're getting line decisions and also the close boundary like we saw one in the last over. Beautifully captured, and technology helping the umpires at this level as well. That is absolutely incredible effort to the management of Atlanta Open on and to Sports 360 for coming up with this additional piece of equipment and facility for all our viewers at home. This one has gone through. It may not go to the fence, but runs are at a premium, and Kingsmen will be grateful for anything that can accumulate in the last 4 balls.
4 deliveries away from the end of this innings. The Kingsmen have 122 on the board. That is incredible. They're playing with freedom. I said this a few times earlier. There's no pressure on them. They're not supposed to win this game.
A couple more runs. Oh, Ziaul Haq probably wanted the strike. That's the only reason I can think of them not going for the second.
Well, Ziaul Haq, I think, comfortably can be recognized as a bowler. But for a man who's played first-class cricket, including Test cricket, for as long as he has, not just first-class cricket, but you'd think that he's seen bowling of a higher caliber than Aryan Desai. No disrespect to Aryan Desai. Ziaul Haq thinks he can take him on.
Not if Desai can execute his skills as brilliantly as this. That is terrific. You were making the point earlier about Thunderbolts playing with freedom, no fear whatsoever. But getting close or sensing that they can win it, that brings its own fear.
That's a great point. Absolutely great point.
How are they going to handle that? That will be the next question. Off the edge. And it's gone away for a boundary. Not where he intended, but runs all the way.
Absolutely not where he intended it. Look at his head. Watch his head. He's looking to the leg side. The ball is off the outside edge going to the offside. You'll accept those runs at this stage any way you can get them. Ziaul Haq playing with glasses a la Clive Lloyd. Sir Clive Lloyd will be here on Sunday. I don't know that I've ever seen him playing glasses before.
He doesn't need them when he's bowling. To spot that little ball whilst batting, he does need them. Running the by, the throw is away from the bowler. And a single to close out the innings, 128. What a terrific effort this has been from the Thunderbolts, taming the fancied Kingsmen batting lineup for 128 in 20 overs. This is absolutely outstanding effort.
You and I, mostly I, hyped up this batting lineup. They are well reputed. They come as advertised ordinarily. I don't think you can see a lineup the way that the Kingsmen are and not expect for them choosing to bat first under perfect conditions to put a really big score on the board. In my mind, I was thinking something along the lines of 170, 180 would be the bare minimum that you'd expect from them. But what an effort with the ball for the Seattle Thunderbolts. Tremendous effort all the way around, because you've seen the type of effort from them that typically wins matches. We'll see the scorecard here in a minute. The batting, I think the story here is the low numbers. Sherjil Khan, Saad Ali, 5 runs between them. Hassan Khan, the big hitter, 7 from 7. Mohamed Elias, you expected a few runs from. Only the resistance from Ramiz Raja, 30. Milind Kumar, 30. And Osama Razak, 24. Those are the only ones who showed any sort of ability on the day with the bat. The bowling, I thought, was a spectacular shot, I saw.
Absolutely, and only 9 extras given away. That's another testament to the Thunderbolts for their discipline. Desai was absolutely fabulous with the new ball. 3 overs, he bowled up top, and then he bowled the final over, the pressure over. 1 for 15, thoroughly deserved those outstanding figures. Also, you look at Roshan Primus, 3 for 19 on one leg.
Yes!
Bowled fantastically well. Karthik Garapali is a banker. You can always trust him. 2 for 26. The left-armer once again producing the goods for his side. And at the halfway stage, you feel like Thunderbolts have really restricted Kingsmen on a below-par score. As we look at the match summary so far, 31 Milind Kumar, 30 Ramiz Raja, and 21 Osama Razak. And Kingsmen at the halfway stage, their dugout will be thinking that they've let themselves down with the bat big time. Although they have the big names, the character, and if they're feeling hurt, they can come out and still bowl out of their skins to restrict Thunderbolts, who definitely will be thinking otherwise. Terrific performance with the ball and in the field. The catching was good. It's high swirling winds there.
No question.
But all the high catches were taken safely. And I think Lenny Achabar is ready with the man of the moment from the first innings. Roshan Primus has joined Lenny. Over to you, Lenny.
Thank you, Shaw Faisal. I'm with Russian Primus. Russian, we called you the man with 1 foot today. Not off your long run, but the short run did it.
Yeah, been resting for this game. And I say, by all means, I have to come out and give the team something. Haven't been getting much runs, so I say, got to try it with the ball and hopefully it translates into my batting.
All right, talk us through 3 for 19. Very impressive bowling spell.
Just to keep it simple. Slow balls into the wicket. You have the big end with the wind coming across, so I was just bowling to my plan. And, it was good that I came out and execute.
Not a big score, but just in case you're needed to bat, how is the leg feeling?
I have to manage, but I'm able to hobble around. So, if it comes down to me, I'll try to do it for the team.
Our final question: are you considering bowling off your short run to get more 3 wickets haul?
No.
Thank you, Russian Primus. So there you go. He's not going to finish with the short run. He's going back off the long run. Back to you, Shaw Faisal.
Thank you very much, Lenny Achabar. And a terrific performance from Roshan Primus. Well, remember Kingsmen won the toss. The start wasn't pretty good. It was quiet and you felt that they were not in their full flight when Sharjeel went early.
That was a big one. That to me was an indication that something big was a brewing. Still had plenty of runs at that point. But this, a leading edge, popped up. You saw the disappointment from Saad Ali. And even though Milind Kumar with a couple of beautiful shots, that one behind point was lovely. And then over the top of cover was also beautiful. But not quite able to build the partnerships that they needed, Shah Faisal.
Yeah, that's the only stage where Milind Kumar was hitting those boundaries. And At the non-striker end, you saw Ramiz was with him. That's the time the innings was flourishing. But once we'll get to that point when that partnership was broken, Ramiz Raja playing his part in that partnership, but once that was broken, the floodgates really opened for the Thunderbolts, and that man Roshan Primus came into ball. You could see he's hobbling around. The only thing he couldn't do is hit the stumps with his throws. He had a couple of goes to get the opportunity, and how about that? Play of the day.
Spectacular catch by the captain, Mr. Kohli, and then Roshan Primus doing again what you mentioned, a couple of shies at the stumps. Now, having to move so quickly with a leg injury is not something that's very easy, but the big fast bowler turned off spinner still has the quicker one, as you'd expect, and that was a big catch. And then a couple of good catches in the outfield. Generally, even though that last one we saw was dropped, the catching for me was spectacular.
And that is the key wicket again, Hassan Khan. There's so many big players, but Thunderbolts keep taking them out, and the big hits were few and far between. Mistimed high balls and high catches, there were quite a few. Ilyas came in, hit a boundary and got out. Anwar Ali looking to drag it to his favorite mid-wicket area from way outside the off stump. Paid the ultimate price. And the final over saw one boundary, a streaky boundary, but by and large, execution in that final over from Desai was absolutely perfect. Well, time for everyone to catch a bit of breath, take a little break, and come back with the run chase very shortly.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man, indeed, when that one is smack.
Oh, this one is lobbed into the onside, a slow, short ball.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and Tariq Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
nap on his smack.
Oh, this one is clapped into the onside. A slow, short ball.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and Tariq Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man in deeper nap on his smack.
Oh, this one is clapped into the onside. A slow, short ball. So welcome back for the chase. 129 needed from 120 balls. Sujit Gowda and Rahul Jariwala out in the middle. Zia Ul Haq will start. And so they're asked to score 6.4 for the time being. And we know the exploit of Sujit Gowda. We talked about minor league career runs at the top of the heap. And he comes in here with a hard-hitting Jariwala. And they need 129, 128 posted by the Kingsmen. So things are on the way here. Ball steered into the offside. And straight away, Gowda gets one. Hands the strike over to Rahul Jariwala. And so no ball to start with from Zia Ul Haq. So a couple of runs on the board already. And of course will be followed up by a free hit ball. So I'm joined alongside me with Brian Walters. 2 for no loss. Jariwala will be the man to receive the free hit. We've seen a no ball from Zia Ul Haq. Free hit. And that's a good shot down the ground. Welcome, Brian Walters. 3 for no loss.
Mr. Tribar, if I had said to you, 2 hours ago, oh, that was a big no ball. Now, Ziaul Haq, you saw him earlier batting, wearing glasses, a la Sir Clive Lloyd, who will be here on Sunday. Don't need the glasses bowling. Or maybe he does, because that was a really big no ball. But as I was saying to you, if I had told you a couple hours ago that one team batted first, and you see the lineup for both teams, and that team was bowled out, or at least got to the end of their innings with 128 runs, you would have thought that that team would have been Seattle. The batting lineup of the Kingsmen is so strong that you would have to think that they would have put up somewhere around 170, 180. In my mind, as a minimum, the fact that they're gotten to the stage is a huge credit to Seattle.
Oh, that's a lovely drive. It doesn't get better than that. We'll get a couple of runs. Milind Kumar on the chase. And that's a good-looking shot from a man with the most runs at the minor league level.
So, to continue with what I was saying earlier, you're playing with house money if you're Seattle. You're not supposed to win this game. So you've gotten through the first half of the match. You restricted a really powerful batting team to 128 runs. 129 being the target. You have to fancy your chances with Sujit Gowda, Rahul Jariwala, Sashrat Kohli, and then if needed, Roshan Primus when he comes in. You'd have to fancy your chances to get at least close.
Yeah, we talked about the matchups when we came in. The Kingsmen, they've been here, they've won, they've gone all over the place and win. And the big question is, I want to think that Zia Ul Haq, Usman Qadir is going to be key men here. And so, Brian, let's wait and see. 122 still needed. We've seen a good start. Oh, wow, look at that. Gone over the keeper's head by some yards and gone for 4 byes.
Well, we've talked before about there being pace in the wicket. Ziaul Haq bending his back like the first-class player that he is and getting some tremendous, fierce bounce out of the wicket there. In fact, that's not the one that we're looking at, but I'll tell you, you don't want to give up any sorts of runs. Look at this. Bends the back, and that sails over the keeper. No way Ramiz Raja could have gotten to that. That's a wasted ball to me. Was it given as wides? Not given as wides.
Yeah, ball driven down the ground again. Fielder comes in. And so that will complete the first over. 11 off over number 1. Sujit Gowda and Jariwala out in the middle. 11 for no loss. So Mohamed Ilyas has been given the ball to partner Zia Olhak. So pace on both end. Brian Walters, but they're off to a good start. Jariwala on strike.
We can do our own virtual worm here, comparing the two teams. At the end of over number 1, Kingsmen had 1 run. The Seattle Thunderbolts have 11. You're ahead of the game. Absolutely ahead of the game. Keep telling yourself that.
Oh, over the offside. That's a lovely shot from Rahul Jariwala. And he picks up his first boundary.
Well, you described him as the heavy-hitting Rahul Jariwala. Evidence of it here. Look at this. A little bit of width. Don't need to bowl wide, especially inside the power play. No protection in the deep. And short and wide usually relates to 4 runs. Cashing in on that loose delivery. And they're off to a fast start here, the Seattle Thunderbolts.
And Brian Walters, one of the things, I'll point something out to you, which is quite unique. Would you be surprised to know that in the 4 games that the Thunderbolts have played in this series, they have gone with the exact batting lineup? Wide is the call, and so they've started all their games with Rahul and Sujit Gowda. Number 3 has always come Shreyas Chatnini. Number 4 has come Kohli. Number 5 will come Rishabh Mohan if they stick to what we've seen. Kakani comes next, Primus comes next, and Kartik Ganapali comes next. We'll see 4 times in this series they've come with the same batting lineup. Slashed and gone. Gone away for 4 off the bat of Rahul Jariwala.
Committing the cardinal sin of bowling too wide again. Anytime you allow a batter to free his arms in this way, look where he plays this ball from, slashing it away. That's probably 5th stump line. I'll admittedly say that Rahul Jariwala made it to look like a worse ball than it was. But still, for me, you want that ball on the line of off stump. Back to the lineup that you just mentioned, and that is an oddity that you keep the exact same lineup. I'll say more after this ball. Of those names that you mentioned, the one that stands out the most for me is Roshan Primus. You may have heard the statement before, beware of the wounded batsman. If you are wounded and you cannot run quick 1s and 2s, and your only option is to hit big, it helps to be built like Roshan Primus, who can hit the ball into the forests beyond the ground. So if he is needed, and let's say he comes in with something like 25 needed in 8 balls, he's the kind of batter who can get it done. That is gone. A slash and miss outside the line of off stump. And by miss, I mean it kisses the edge. First wicket down.
So Jariwala falls. Mohamed Ilyas has made an early impression here. Yeah, probably looking to go straight. Yes, and he gets an edge and in the glove of the wicketkeeper. So 1 gone, 20 on the board.
Rahul Jariwala knows that he edged it. I think the umpires are speaking about, in fact, no, Rahul Jariwala is trudging off the field. Our vantage point, looking at that great camera work, was that ball carried into the gloves of Ramiz Raja. So I don't think there's any doubt about that. And also, it was a thick enough edge that there was significant deviation. So all things added up to me, a pretty straightforward edge and a catch.
So good catch, low down, and Kingsmen have struck in the second over. Yeah, there we go, Brian. So number 3 comes Chatnini, consistent. Let's see, we'll monitor the batters as they come out. So Chatnini has occupied number 3 all throughout the series. And he comes in here in the eliminator we talked about. Stallion X, they've already through. And they'll take on Clarion Eagles in one of the semifinals. And the winner of this game will take on the Atlanta Fire. And Brian, wherever the Atlanta Fire, wherever they are, they might be following to see who will be their opponent tomorrow. But Ilyas will continue. And will come into bowl to Shreyas Chatnini. And he gets a good ball taken on the pad. Could be leg by.
I would imagine that this is in fact leg by signal by umpire Aftab Gilani. For me, Lenny, this is bouncing over the top. The batter is rising up on his toes, and it hits him well above the knee roll. So I don't think there's any chance of that being given out leg before. But a really good fast start has somewhat been blunted by the wicket taken here by Mohamed Ilyas. Been expensive, 10 runs in his first over so far with the one to come. But you like the wicket that you've taken if you're the Kingsmen.
Yep, they're gone in with full pace. We've seen an over from Zia-ul Haq. We've seen this one gone for a couple of boundaries, but that man is back in the shade. Sujit Gowda opens the face at the bat into the offside. This will complete 2. And after 2, it's 22 for the loss of 1. It looks like a bowling change. Hassan Khan has been given the ball. Brian Walters, we've seen one from Zia-ul Haq. Went for 7. And so early change here for the Kingsmen.
Going aggressive, bringing the left-arm orthodox bowler in to bowl during the power play has its own element of risk. But you're banking on the fact that the ball will be turning away from the 2 right-handed batters, Shreyas Chitneni and Sujit Gowda, who retained strike 6 from 7. Big picture, 107 needed in 108 balls. Lenny just under run a ball.
Yeah, we've seen Gowda this season. We talked about at the top of the order, him and Jariwala has come this far for the Thunderbolts. Hassan Khan, good start. Dot ball, very important. And the ball into the onside again. Can't score. So 2 very good balls here from a man who knows what he's doing. Hassan Khan. Yeah, ball again into the offside. So good bowling here from Hassan Khan. Good start.
We referred to him when we were on commentary in the playoffs, the minor league playoffs, as likely the best all-rounder in the country. When you fail in one element of your game with an all-rounder, it motivates you to produce in the other. And I think you'll see evidence that Hassan Khan will be wanting to stand up and be counted with the ball where he was not able to do it with the bat.
Yeah, very good start from him. 4 dot balls. Look at that, not a quality delivery. That's the whole essence of the left arm spin, the orthodox spin to come to the right-hander is for them to get the ball to really bounce and turn.
Working on a maiden over here, Hassan Khan, Sujit Gowda.
Yeah, into the offside. So he starts with a maiden, Hassan Khan. And after 3, it's still 22 for 1.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and Tariq Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket, and T Sports.
So the action continues, and so does Mohamed Ilyas. Yeah, not a good delivery. Second time we've seen Chetnini wrapped on the pad, Brian Walters. And they've gone again with Mohamed Ilyas.
Mohamed Ilyas finding success in his first over. He would have preferred to not have conceded 11 runs in that over. But given that you've conceded those runs, your job after that is just come back and be counted. And coming back to get the wicket for Rahul Jariwala was a big one.
Yes, Sujit Gowda gets an inside edge. Fielder does well to prevent any runs. So couple of cheap balls in this over from Mohamed Ilyas. Let's look at what Gowda has done in the series. 18, 22, 0 and 34. It's 23 for 1. They've lost the wicket of Rahul Jariwala. Couple of fours from him, Brian Walters.
Well, if you're going to excuse me, go after this target in any degree of seriousness, you would think Sujit Gowda would have a lot to do with whether or not you're able to get there.
Again, ball taken on the pad. And we wait to see as umpire Gilani signals another leg by here. Brian Walters says this over's gone pretty well for Mohamed Ilyas. 3 balls into the over, and he's only conceded. Well, he hasn't conceded anything. It's 2 extras.
Well, that's exactly right. But my sense is that this pair is just simply trying to steady the ship. Know exactly what you're doing as a batting pair. You know that there's not a very big target. You know that the bowling side will be fired up and looking to get under your skin. Your job right now is just to steady the ship. Just make sure that even if you need to see off another over from Mohamed Ilyas, just make sure that at the end of the power play you have at the most 2 wickets down, and then you can start going, making inroads into getting into toward the target. You're only needing 6.43 and over, which is not in modern day cricket a very big ask.
Yeah, playing a miss again. So we've seen a very good over here from Mohamed Ilyas, except a couple of leg byes. Things have gone pretty well for him. So 24 for 1, final ball in this over from Ilyas. Turned into the onside. What a grab. The throw comes in. And we'll have to wait and see if the ball strikes a stump, or was it from the keeper?
We will have to look at that, and I suspect that's what the question is going to be, Eliminator2. Was it the keeper or the ball that disturbed the stumps? Third umpire will do what he does, and we will go silent and take a look at this.
So the action will continue. Not out as Hassan Khan. And Brian, we've seen a couple of maiden overs now. We saw one from Hassan Khan. We saw from Ilyas. And the Kingsmen are fighting back here. Still 105 to defend.
You're spending 2 overs from Hassan Khan very early. He's a brilliant left-arm bowler, but like everybody else, he can only bowl 4. And of those 4, he just got taken out of the park for 6 over mid-wicket.
Yes, on the front foot, and he goes big into the onside. A massive looking shot from Sujit Gowda. Look at that, we talked about 2 maiden over, not anymore. In to the far part of the ground and gone for a maximum. Lovely swing and lovely shot from Sujit Gowda.
Certainly the far part of the ground as far as we're concerned, Lenny, but that's actually the shortest side of the ground, only 65 yards out there. And so it's an easier hit. You're taking some chance going against the turn from the left-handed batter, but that's, or the left-handed bowler, my apologies, but that's the shortest side of the ground, so it becomes an easier hit in that sense.
So 6 and a couple of dot balls here from Hassan Khan. Big appeal, and now Sujit Gowda falls. Hassan Khan strikes in the 5th over. It's 30 for 2.
This one does not bounce nearly as high as Sujit Gowda was expecting it to. He's playing the cross-batted shot. It was very short, but look how little this bounces. The only question that the umpire had to think about, Lenny, was whether or not that was going down the leg side. I suspect, obviously, he thought it was hitting the stumps. To me, that looks like it might have been shaving leg stump. But from that perspective, the bigger issue for me is that the ball didn't bounce quite as high as Sujit Gowda would have been expecting. And that is a big wicket. Sujit Gowda, 12 from 20. And they needed more out of him if they were going to try to make a serious attempt at this run chase.
So we were looking for Shashwat Kohli at 4. He comes in at 4. And so consistent, Brian, what we have seen from the Seattle Thunderbolts. And so the captain, Shashwat Kohli, comes in here at number 4. Is 30 for 2.
Magic number of 99 runs needed the rest of the way.
Yeah, we've seen a wicket now for Hassan Khan. We talked about a maiden over the last time he bowled here, but here he is, and really been on target from the very first time he picked up the ball.
I believe that we're going upstairs to see whether or not this stumping was completed. Certainly disturbed the stumps. Wicket keeper being Osama Razak. We'll see whether or not what the third umpire thinks as we take a look here.
So satisfied, it's a dot ball. We've seen a 6 and a wicket from Hassan Khan. So got a big wicket of Sujit Gowda. Still 9-9 to win here for the Thunderbolts. Oh, out of the right hand of Hassan Khan. And while the catch probably out of the range of Hassan Khan, a run out comes. And another wicket falls here for the Thunderbolts.
Pressure is what this is. Almost taken there by Hassan Khan. He's very athletic, but this is what you're looking at the danger end. And look at this throw all the time in the world. Ooh, all the time in the world for the wicketkeeper, Osama Razak. In fact, it was already given out on the field, so I don't know that they can change their minds now. There might be some question as to whether or not that was collected cleanly, but it doesn't matter at this point. It was given given out on the field, and so that is the end of that. As far as I'm concerned, well, not as far as I'm concerned. As far as the rules are concerned, the on-field umpire has already given his decision. So it is going to be one ball remaining here in over number 5. And the nerves, I think, are showing here. That is the end of over number 5, 30 for 3.
I was just trying to calm down and angry on it. Let he talk over it.
So a couple of dismissals for Osama Razak. The latest, of course, comes. And we've seen a run out here. Chetnini gone. And we'll have to wait and see. Looks like Rishabh Mohan has come to the middle here as Shaw Faisal comes into the box.
Well, what a dramatic last 5 or so minutes. First, Sujit Gowda, and then his partner. So 2 new batters in the middle. Power play, last over before power play. That's where the batting team would like to capitalize on whatever they built on during the first 5 overs. But Thunderbolts won't be able to do that because of the double strike. 1 wicket for Hassan Khan and a very casual piece of running between the wicket. And a run out resulting. 30 for 3. Game on for Kingsmen. You felt at the halfway stage they weren't going to give it up so easily. And now 5 overs. They haven't conceded many and they took 3 wickets.
So it looks like Milind Kumar will come into the attack. And will come into bowl to, it looks like Kohli on strike. Rishabh Mohan has coming during the course of that run out.
Nice hold on to skipper Kohli. Steady the ship and build a partnership. The sterling job that they've done with the ball means that they're only 1 good partnership away from victory in this eliminator. And this is what these two need to try to do. A good 70, 80 run stand could seal the deal.
Yeah, Shaw Faisal, and we talked about over the last couple of days that the Kingsmen have won at this championship before in 2023. And we know they are a champion team. They've gone around the country, not only at the Atlanta Open, and done very well, winning other tournaments. Rishabh Mohan has come to the middle, and we talked about a consistent batting lineup sported by the Thunderbolts, and they continue to come as we have seen them in the other 4 games. But really, it's the Kingsmen on top at the moment.
They're very proud cricketers. The Kingsmen had privileged and successful careers. They boast big names. So beware when they get wounded by the kind of batting performance they put up. That is the challenge for the Thunderbolts to get over.
So ball stroked into the offside. Young player Rishabh Mohan. We talked about the under-21s. That has been quite prominently featured today, Shaw Faisal, for the Thunderbolts. Rishabh Mohan and both Rishabh Mohan and Shashwat Kohli are part of that under-21 group. Yeah, they've got to run hard for their runs. So the 6th over comes to a close. It's 33 for the loss of 3. So we get the signal from the umpire that the power play session is done. And Shaw Faisal, what a fight back we've seen from the Kingsmen. 128 at the end of their 20. And you look at the card, it's 33 for 3.
Only used 4 bowlers so far. And be interesting to see how they carry skipper Saad Ali, carry the combination of bowlers. Now it's Usman Qadir right after power play. He's the wicket taker, but he can also go for runs if it's not one of his best days. Not many runs to play with for the right arm leg spinner, so he's got to be spot on from the get-go.
Yeah, you're right on that, Shaw Faisal. Couple of big wicket hauls for him. Saw him getting 4 for 21. Got 3 for 20, 2 for 37. And 1 for 18. So every time he has come into a spell, he has walked away with at least 1 wicket.
Yeah, left-hander. Usman Qadir has a terrific googly. No attacking fielder for him in the slips.
Yeah, pulled away, short ball into the hands of the fielder. A slight bubble, but he holds on.
Saad Ali, skipper, placed himself strategically, although it was a short delivery, but he couldn't get his hands out. Rishabh Mohan out in front and got cramped, couldn't get the free swing. There you go, just a little knock and the wind carries it through to the fielder. Jubilant celebrations. This will give a better idea that how he got cramped, little bit of turn, and he had no room to free his arms. And on the second attempt, Saad Ali takes the catch.
So a wicket already for Usman Qadir. And we talked about his production. Look at that. A little bit of bubble, but in the end, the captain holds on. Another wicket falls. Mohan goes.
34 for 4 now.
So Primus comes to the middle. And it breaks the consistency in what we have seen from the batting lineup. Harish Kakani should have come here now. But now in come Primus. Some ways to go. 95 still needed. And we've seen an early strike from Usman Qadir. Second ball into his spell, he's picked up the wicket of Rishabh Mohan. So very good start from him, and the Kingsmen are fighting back here at the Paramveers. Oh, big strike from Primus. First ball he sees, and it goes out of the park.
By a long way. That's a muscular blow. Usman looking to flight the ball. Was a googly, but it was too close to Primus. And it went a long way. Have a look at that. That flight, the length was just perfect for Primus to get under it.
And Shaw Faisal, we talked about the wounded batter. Saw a big knock from yesterday for Ramiz Raja. And we talked with Primus, and we talked about the injury, and while it may have curtailed him to bowl, we'll have to wait and see how he moves around. Down the leg side, called the wide, and 2 will be added to the card. 42 for 4.
Yeah, that is a thing with Usman Qadir. You put him under pressure and he's likely to buckle despite all his skills. And Kohli also a good player of spin. We've seen the evidence of that earlier in the tournament. Would like to put Usman under pressure, because if you allow him to bowl and get away with his odd bad ball, he can be all over you.
So ball into the offside and can't score. And Shaw Faisal, we've seen the Kingsmen You look at 5 bowlers used so far, and there are 5 bowlers of different type. Cardier has gone for 9 in this over. And he will end with 9 in this over. So 7 gone is 42 for the loss of 4. Yes, so folks, Sir Clive Lloyd is coming to the Atlanta Open. And so 42 for 4 here, 7 overs gone, there's still 87 to win. Hassan Khan comes back for another spell. And Shaw Faisal, I talked about 5 bowlers being used, all different bowling type.
Absolutely, and left arm quick, right arm quick, left arm spin, off spin, right arm leg spin. But Hassan Khan has been brought in. He bowled 2 overs in the power play. I think skipper Saad realizes. See this one, just a single. Skipper Saad realizes that Roshan Primus is the kind of matchup that requires introduction of Hassan. If they take out Roshan Primus with all his experience from here, I think they would feel a bit more confident.
Yeah, I like the move to get Primus in quite early. We saw yesterday that they held back probably Raymond Reefer too late. And in the end, they only lost by 38 or I think 32 runs, Shaw Faisal. And the big question is, or was, had Raymond Reefer come a bit earlier, he came almost 7. He batted a 7 yesterday. Hassan Khan, he's been good in this over so far. He bowled a maiden today, so he's really been on target. Yeah, look at that. He's gone for 3 and 5 balls. So this has been another good over from Hassan Khan, and the Kingsmen are beginning to apply the pressure here. They've taken 4 wickets already. And so the over will close with Hassan Khan giving up 4. So 8 gone is 46 for the loss of 4. So far, the Kingsmen posting a 128. Saw a good knock from Milind Kumar, Ramiz Raja, and Osama Razak. And we also saw 3 for 19 from Primus. So the action continues. Usman Qadir continues. And ball into the offside, can score. So Shaw Faisal is over to the spinners now for the Kingsmen.
Indeed, and it'll be crucial how he uses Usman, because Usman carries a wicket-taking threat but also can go for runs, and that is a beautiful boundary from Kohli. Width was on offer, but he got close enough to the ball to not allow it to turn and gets himself a boundary.
You gotta love the shot over extra cover from any leg spinner, Shaw Faisal. And that's really the correct way to play. You hit with the spin. 50 on the board for the Thunderbolts. And we've seen a lovely strike from Shashwat Kohli. Interesting to see how Usman Qadir comes back. He's picked up one already. Got a wicket of Rashad Mohan.
They want him to bowl when still runs to play with. Gone! That's the threat of Usman Qadir. He will always produce wicket-taking balls. And although it was a tame dismissal, pitching outside the leg stump, was looking to turn it to the onside. A little bit of turn and got the leading edge back to the bowler. That is a big wicket.
So 50 for 5. Shashwat Kohli, the captain, departs. And we've seen a couple of wickets off the bowling of Usman Qadir. And Shah Faisal, he will now go up to 12 wickets in the series. So 50 for 5. Kingsmen fighting back. And the Seattle Thunderbolts, they still need 79 as the new batter walks to the middle.
The look of disgust on Kohli's face, because he was really important to navigate this run chase. Have a look at how he turned the face of the bat, looking to play it onto the onside, and delightful Usman Qadir accepts it. And when Usman does come back to ball, we'll have a look on the onside field. You'll see that there is no one in the 30-yard ring, and that is what Kohli was trying to capitalize.
So it looks like Harish Kakani has come to the middle. And defensive he goes. So another good over here from Usman Qadir. Still a ball remaining. But Shah Faisal, a couple of wickets for him already in the bag.
Yeah, that's the wicket-taking threat he possesses, Usman.
Yeah, playing a miss. And what an over we've seen from Usman Qadir. 9 gone, 50 for 5.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and Tariq Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket and T Sports.
Akhtar Shah, big fast bowler. He's a wholehearted cricketer. He will give it his all. He's quite pacey. The wicket is dry and hard. And this will be an exciting phase, because I don't think Roshan Primus minds tackling pace. Good save. This is Anwar Ali, who always has been a fantastic fielder, good all-round fielder. And this is crucial. 6th bowler in operation now. And that will give the skipper Saad Ali options as how he wants to maneuver his bowlers. So far, wickets for Usman, 2 of them, and then 1 for Ilyas, 1 for Hassan. All the cards open for skipper Saad.
Yeah, we saw Akhtar Shah bowled with some life the other day. Shah Faisal on field 5. And he's come in here, given the ball at a time in which you get the feeling that the Kingsmen have done their work. They've picked up 5. And it's down now to the likes of Kakani and Primus out in the middle. And of course the others to come. We talked about how young the side is. Lovely drive into the offside will only fetch them 1. And the fielding of Kingsmen has really been good. We've seen a couple of short and sharp runs across the field cut off. And we've seen good catching from them.
Absolutely, they had to be at their best because no margin for error with the kind of batting performance they had put in. Absolutely abysmal. They have to make up for that by saving every run in the field, taking every catch that is offered.
Yeah, driven into the offside. We've also seen Osama Razak taking the glove in place of Ramiz Raja. So some options there also.
A couple of changes at the halfway stage. Ramiz Raja is still off the field because of that hamstring injury. So Awazia is one of the substitutes. And then the mid-innings substitute, Sharjeel Khan, was taken out for Usman Qadir. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, we've seen, and that's the good thing, as in this case.
Wow, that was close. Good work from Anwar Ali. Almost caught Roshan Pramas off guard. Quick bit of reaction. Nice bounce for him. A bit off balance. He was gone for all money. Absolutely. Brilliantly stitched together by the production team. Once again. That will be a wide. You start tapping your score and you miss what's happened. That's why I just jumped in.
So 5 in this over so far. Seen a couple of wides, couple of extras here from Akhtar Shah. We talked about how lively he can be, Shah Faisal. Yeah, playing a miss. And the pressure on the Thunderbolts continue to be applied here by the Kingsmen.
Yeah, that they need to continue because, like I said, they cannot slip up. And it's only one good partnership away, that target of 129. Only 74 needed. And with 10 overs to go, you'd say the Thunderbolts have plenty of time on their hand. The problem is those 5 wickets. And they do not want it to be added.
Yeah, into the offside. This will bring this over to a close. So 10 gone is 56 for the loss of 5.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
And indeed, but that one is smack.
Oh, this one is globbed into the onside. A slow, short ball.
I'm number 6. Back into the attack here. Look at that, the very first ball. I heard you talk about the Shah Faisal. Right through the wicket-taking ability of Mr. Qadir continues.
Great delivery. Quicker one. Almost a yorker. Keep an eye on the feet of the batter. Yeah, almost that big stride. Got himself yorked. Couldn't pick it from the hand, the variation. The flipper from Usman Qadir. That art of deception. He misread the length of the ball and hence was looking to stride forward. And the ball kept zipping in through the air and yorked him. Base of middle and leg. Terrific bowling from Usman Qadir. And now it's all of a sudden started to look very difficult for the Thunderbolts.
Well, earlier, Shah Faisal, you and I were talking, and I made the point that they were playing with house money, the Seattle Thunderbolts. And your response was, yes, but then if the game starts getting close, then that pressure gets back on them. And it doesn't appear in the last several overs that the Seattle Thunderbolts have had an answer for that pressure.
Yeah, that is the key. Handling pressure. Players who've had long distinguished careers, they've gone through those phases, so they're battle hardened. But a young team like Thunderbolts, at the halfway stage, quite a few of them would have thought, like, who are we going to beat? Look at those names that we're playing against. And that alone would have sent shivers down their spine, having that experience of beating a high-profile team with high-profile player names. And they have come out, and they are now in a big hole. Shouts to catch it. Hassan Khan, one of the more brilliant fielders around. If he can't get to it, very few can.
Well, Hassan Khan made about 15 yards to his left, right here in front of us in the commentary area. And not quite able to get to it. Karthik Gatapali, the man who is at the crease, the left-hander. And he says, let's not even, spend time looking. We're looking upwards of 7.5 runs and over here, and we have work to do. So I think you'll see here, Shah Faisal, that this young man is going to have to try to take the bull by the horns, as it's going to be facing up to this wily leg spinner. He has another 2 overs, make that 1 over and 3 balls remaining. So I want to see how Karthik Gatapali chooses to attack here, because you don't want to keep falling behind, but you also can't absorb too many dot balls either. Looking for the big swipe, appeal for a catch. Umpire is not moved. Umpire Denzel says, nope, that did not hit anything, and stop being so excited.
Yeah, that was the googly. Thrown up a little bit higher than the previous balls. Tempting Gatapali. That is the guile and skill of Usman.
Him on the pad this time. So a couple of dot balls after that skied catch, potential catch anyway, into the outfield. Usman Qadir is very, very good. I don't think anybody needs to be convinced of that. 3 for 15 with 1 ball remaining in his third over.
Yeah, the leg spinner turning viciously that previous ball. Followed by the googly. Elias is another one of those wonderful fielders. Quick mover. And the over finishes with a dot. 2 runs and a wicket. Seattle Thunderbolts need a miracle. 58 for 6.
More effective weapon so far. 11 delivers, make that 11 overs into this chase.
Yeah, well, in the heyday of Pakistan cricket, there always was a mantra: express pace with wrist spin. That's the best combination.
So what is now the role for Rashaan Primus? Can't run, so you're not looking for quick singles. Quick singles out of the equation. Is it time for Rashaan Primus to just throw caution to the wind and aim for that big 2-story house in the back?
Well, he needs to do something to just put the pressure back on Kingsmen. If you allow them to bowl like that, they will run all over you. So there is a need of counter-attack, and it does carry its own risks. Fine line.
Well, this being an eliminator game, we might just get closer to the end of that elimination. Wicket number 7. That celebration tells you all you need to see. Osama Razak with the catch and the swan dive. And it may well be the swan dive for the Seattle Thunderbolts.
Akhtar Shah with the breakthrough. He's backing away, looking for that room to free his arms. There was drama when the edge was found and the catch was taken, but there was more drama when the celebrations were happening. I think one of the high fives from Akhtar Shah swung and knocked Osama out. They wouldn't care. They're delighted. because their bowling has looking like it's been bailed out because of their poor batting. They were in trouble at the halfway stage, but now they're 58 for 7, and Thunderbolts are in trouble.
To say that the Thunderbolts are in trouble is to severely understate the reality of the situation. It's difficult enough to go after 8.19 runs and over to a really strong bowling side that really has not used all its weapons, used all the bowlers that they have. They've used 6 bowlers, and there you see a very forlorn Seattle Thunderbolts dugout. But to be able or to need to chase over 8 runs and over with only 3 wickets in hand and all your primary bowlers, make that all your primary batters out, I think underscores the seriousness of the situation. Akhtar Shah, what I'd started saying is that he's a really quick bowler, tends to be a little bit wild sometimes, wild in the sense that he will bowl a few wides, but if he gets it right, he can be a premier strike bowler.
Yeah, he's got issues that need to be ironed out technically, but like I said, he's big, strong, and wholehearted. So whenever he gets his rhythm right, he can really get it through. But one thing you for certain, when you give ball to Akhtar Shah, that he'll give it his 100%.
Oh goodness, yes. What a great Yorker that one is. Landing on the popping crease. Nothing you can do about that. I understand.
Yeah, you talk about the requirement, 8.5 per over against bowling like this. It is very difficult. And then you got Usman Qadir on the other side, who's got his tail up, 3 wickets, spinning the ball both ways sharply. Lower order in the middle. I don't want to be Thunderbolts right now.
Late on that shot. So you have 2 lefties at the crease. You have Usman Qadir, who's spinning the ball both directions. You have 3 overs left from Milind Kumar. You have tons of options. If you wanted to go back to pace, Mohamed Ilyas still has 2. Ziaul Haq has 3. So just all kinds of options here for Saad Ali should he choose to deploy them.
I think now they've got the game by the scruff of the neck. So it is Kingsmen's game to lose from here.
May keep strike here as this ball is played down to fine leg. In fact, they'll settle for 1. So another good over. 1 run coming from that over from Akhtar Shah. And the big wicket of Rashan Primus, that might have been the final body blow, and the rest is just dressing. Anyway, end of over number 30. Make that over number 12, 59 for 7.
Into his final over, and did I not say this off air during the break? Any team that contains a number of Pakistani origin players defending a small target, they're at their best. They just hunt you in pairs. They come hard at you all the way.
Oh my goodness. So
historically, that has been the case.
Talk some more about that, because, you know, those of us who grew up in the Caribbean are, call it ignorant of some aspects of the inner workings of, for example, Pakistani cricket history. Yes, you know about the Wasim Akrams and the Moin Khans and those Inzamam ul Haqs and so on. But talk about the bowling and how they operate in pairs.
Every time Pakistan cricket is so much reliant on their natural talent. So the minute you take the thought process out of the equation, and the situation becomes clearer that either this or that. There is no in between. There is no setting up of plans. There is no thought to outsmart the batters, just outgun out. And that is the most, when the plans get really simple, that's where Pakistan is at their best, and especially with the bowling, because you give them, you got 120. That's all we have. Go and find a way to get people out. Usman Khadir strays for once down the leg side. Probably will be a leg bye. Have to wait for umpire James's signal. Yep, it is a leg bye.
And so talk to me now, as I see you as the de facto Pakistani cricket historian, about Abdul Qadir and how much of it lives on in him, in Usman.
Well, he's the youngest of Abdul Qadir's son. He has two elder brothers who played cricket. And one was a leg spinner, Imran. That's gone. Fielder was interested, Ziaul Haq, but it was struck sweetly by Karthik Garapali. He swung the first one from Usman Khadir and now gets a chance to get underneath another one. And that was a solid blow.
Well, this will be a googly if I'm going to predict. You don't want anything turning into Karthik Garapali's legs, and I would suspect that this one will be going away.
The line will be important, and the length, where Usman wants to start that googly from. But that was off the front of the hand, slightly quicker. So Usman is the youngest, and Abdul Qadir spent a lot of time with Usman. And he always thought that Usman was the most talented of his sons. Abdul Qadir obviously passed away a few years ago. But by then Usman had played for Pakistan. The tools that Usman has, very few will have in the world. This one, once again, goes past the stumps. The thing that has let him down in his career is his lack of control. And with this day and age where the batters are not going to spare you for anything, that has really hampered the progress of him becoming a permanent player in Pakistan national side. 13 gone, and Usman finishes off with 3 for 22. Another splendid spell and a great contribution. 67 for 7 Thunderbolts.
Well, job well done, Usman Khadir. 67 for 7. Figures of 3 for 22 in 4 overs will never hurt any cause. Milind Kumar, not surprising, even though he starts with the wide here, that you've gotten the right arm off spinner to bowl to the two left-handed batters.
Milind Kumar has started off wider, making Garapali wait for that ball in his arc, which may never arrive because he's darting it. Wide given by Gilani. Milind Kumar is not happy.
Didn't exactly see what Milind Kumar would have been upset about. Didn't follow the line, candidly, but the umpire's decision has been made. It's not up for debate. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh! Almost had a farcical run out. A cleaner pickup by Anwar Ali Khan would have resulted in a run out.
Yeah, when the two lower order batters are in the middle, there is always a chance of a mix-up. Not used to batting long periods, so they're not used to calling.
The throw going to the non-striker's end on that occasion may well have resulted in another run out. So not the most assured run in between the wickets here.
I completely lost track of where that ball went because it was fired in by the fielder. Out of shot here. On the bounce, difficult one for Osama.
Well, it it is the case that Ayandesai probably wants to start sliding that bat outside of the line as opposed to after he's gotten inside. Yet another wide here. Milind Kumar is firing them in quickly, wanting the left-handers to hit him outside the line of off stump on the offside toward the big side of the field, but the radar isn't just quite right.
3 wides in the over. Generally very accurate. Milind Kumar, plenty of turn on offer.
In that deep mid-wicket area, really more cow corner. Akhtar Shah out there. It almost feels as though at this point the run rate required is sneaking upwards of 9, Shah Faisal, that it becomes academic. It's essentially you're looking not necessarily to see what you can do to win this game, but to whatever extent can you make something happen to at least bring it close. And the deeper you get into this innings, it becomes apparent that there's only one team that is likely going to win this match.
Okay, they need to give themselves some sort of a chance because it's knockout. There is no point. The margin of defeat really doesn't matter. Other than those 3 wides, a pretty tidy one from Milind Kumar. 14 gone, 72 for 7.
$72 for 7. Ziaul Haq is standing at the top of his mark, so he's going to be the man asked to bowl over number 15. The confidence of a Karthik Gatipali. He's looking toward the dugout and asking for the score. In other words, what time do I need to start going for it? Now would be a good time.
Last 6 overs, you know, if you look at just the time remaining and runs remaining, you would think batting team has a chance. But with 7 down, they need for something to happen really quick. Just a good over to kickstart and give them some momentum. Gatipali with 10, probably the most likely of the two to have some sort of dart at this target.
He's won a couple of matches with his bat here in Atlanta this week. So he does have some ability. You saw the 6 that he hit off of Usman Khadir. Now, can you take on Ziaul Haq? Might be a different story entirely. Yet another wide, though. So this is a bit of a sloppy end to the innings by the Kingsmen bowlers.
Yeah, that's very sloppy. 4 wides in the last 7 legitimate deliveries. You don't want to give the opposition the way back, like I said. The asking run rate is nothing out of reach.
Oh, what a great piece of keeping. That easily could have gone by for runs. To that point, Shah Faisal, there have been 17 extras in this innings, 9 wides, and all other extras totaling 8. So you do have some work to do to clean that up. If you go on to win this match, do you see that that's a major issue that they need to work on, or is this just sort of an incidental thing that happened in this match?
I think they're all seasoned campaigners. It's just they're riding on a wave, and I feel like when they got Thunderbolts down for 7, they just took the foot off the paddle a little bit and let their discipline come loose. You've seen them quite a lot. I've seen them play quite a lot. Generally, they're not like that. It's just that release of pressure probably because, you know, coming into this run chase, all the onus was on the bowlers. And once they got 7 down, they thought job done. And a little release of pressure. I'm just assuming that's the case.
That's as reasonable an explanation as any. And I think you've seen evidence here that even though Ziol Haq, as a premier strike bowler, is somebody who's generally very difficult to get away or get off of the square. Just a couple of wides, wanting to make sure that you clean up those types of sort of tricky areas. So single down the ground here. So the last two balls coming up in over number 15 have found you just maybe, well, not maybe, you're 55 runs short of the mark. Another 55 runs that you need in 32 balls. Again, to your point, in modern cricket, scoring 10.3 and over is not very difficult, but if you have lost 7 wickets, then that makes it essentially, if not impossible, extremely difficult.
Yeah, and generally the way the strength of the teams are batting at 8 and 9 in this team, Karthik and Ayan, like Karthik we've already seen has decent batting ability. Just a matter of getting on to a momentum. And Ayan batting at number 9, still able to hold the bat, no mug with the bat. So it's all is not over, but Kingsmen cannot just allow that comeback to happen by being sloppy. 15 gone, 75 for 7.
Last 5 overs coming up, and we are almost thought we were going to be closer to the end of the match than not. Lenia Chaibar, that drop in the outfield. Iron Satish will be disappointed with that, but still a very long way to go.
Yeah, we saw the score at 55 for 5. Now it's 77 for 7. And Brian Walters, probably the only blemish on what has been a very good bowling and fielding performance here by the Kingsmen.
Couple of indifferent types of fielding. See a clear run out that very easily could have been effected had that been collected by the keeper. You saw that drop. You've seen a number of wides, so not the best game in the world from the bowling side, but their firepower is such that they have such good bowlers. Even when everything doesn't go to plan, even when their disciplines fail them in some extenses, you still have enough to potentially put yourself in a position to win this game.
So Milind Kumar and Brian, they've got 50 to win now.
Skied. This might stay inside the park. Sada Lee will not drop this. Clean catch taken by the captain. Wicket number 8. And just 2 more remaining here before we all go home, Lenny.
Yeah, the first wicket for Milind Kumar. And all the bowlers have really chipped in with good performance. Look at that. High in the air. Saad Ali has been safe. Couple of catches for him today. And another wicket goes on Gatapali this time. And it's 79 for the loss of 8. And they still trail by 50 runs.
So Karthik Gatapali trying to bring some impetus into the side and wanting to essentially drag his team toward something resembling respectability. 1 ball remaining here in over number 16 means that they've probably fallen short of that. The Seattle Thunderbolts, I think, punched above their weight today, Lenny, but they just came up against a better side.
Yeah, it was always going to be tough. We've seen a strong bowling attack sported by the Kingsmen. Usman Kadir, I talked about how good he's been in this series, and he's come to the table with 3 for 22 and has really broke the back of the Seattle Thunderbolts. Lakshmi Khan comes to the middle.
Well, that does break up the two lefty combination. That is the end of another good over. Again, take away the wides. They've done really well here, the bowling side for the Kingsmen. End of over 16, 79 for 8. Seven-9 for 8. Ziaul Haq, 2 overs, 10 runs scored. First over was, in fact, the one that went for 10. In fact, that graphic might not be exactly accurate, but let's just say that he's been spectacular today with the ball. Great Yorker here, bang on targets. And it feels, Lenny, like we're just going through the motions here with only 23 balls remaining in the innings.
Yes, Brian Walters, and the fact is the winner here will come up against the Atlanta Fire. And we talked about the other semi-final will feature Stallion X against Clarion Eagles. The Clarion Eagles game will be playing in the morning.
Two mouth-watering clashes. Say those teams again just so people can understand. And maybe we talk about one or two players from each of those teams. I know you know them, Lenny. And what can people look for tomorrow on semifinals day?
Yeah, Stallions X, of course, led by Cheyenne Jahangir, will come up against Clarion Eagles. And then the Atlanta Fire is waiting for the winner on this one. From the look of things, I mean, it looks like Kingsmen will pull through. They're such a strong team, and they don't go away easy at all.
Around the wicket to target the stumps. We are one delivery away from this match being finished, Lenny.
Yeah, Ziaul Haq is the only bowler so far who hasn't picked up a wicket, but he does so now. And that's the quality of Ziaul Haq. He joins everyone else who was bowled with at least one wicket. And take a look. This one through the defense of Lashmikant. And the 9th wicket goes down, 80 on the board.
Boy, that front foot went the opposite direction of where it needed to go, Lenny. Watch this replay again. The front foot going actually away from the line of the ball. You want it coming across, particularly with the bowler coming around the wicket, slanting the ball in. That front foot has to come across and at least provide some resistance. Pretty straightforward dismissal that time for Ziaul Haq as he now awaits Chris Katre being ready. And Chris Katre bowled beautifully earlier, but he's now being asked to do something that we'll see whether or not it's within his capabilities, but let's just stipulate that it will be very hard. Well, it lasted all of one ball. That is the end of the innings. The yells all the way around tell the story. Seattle Thunderbolts bowled out for 80. Kingsmen win by the margin of 48 runs.
Yes, Ziaul Haq towards the very end picks up 2. And Brian, the next time he bowls, I'll remind you, he'll be on a hat trick. Look at that. Impressive way to close off things. And what a big win again for the Kingsmen. They win by 48.
Impressive indeed. So, my goodness, you're going to see, I think, an absolutely ebullient side here. I think they might have thought that they were in trouble. I don't know if they thought they were all the way in trouble, but they knew that they would have had to fight to make this victory count because of the fact that they got bowled out, or at least their innings ended with them probably some 30 or 40 runs of what they know they can score. So I think you'll see probably elation, maybe a sense of relief, and then putting themselves together in the mindset that they have to be ready for the semifinals tomorrow. Jerry Walla at the top of the order, Sujit Gowda with a decent start, but once each of them got out, not much resistance beyond that. Chitneni not. Shashwat Kohli, the captain, only 9. Rishabh Mohan 1. When Rashawn Primus hit his first ball for 6, we thought something was in the offing, but it was not to be. And Karthik Gatipala, the only batter in the lower order to get into double figures. 18 extras, they'll want to clean that up if you are the Kingsmen. But I will tell you that a pretty straightforward victory here. Lenny?
Yes, Brian, let's look at the bowling card. Usman Qadir, 3 for 22. Second time he has gotten 3 wickets in this series. And look at Zia ul Haq. We talked about that 2 consecutive wickets. Remind me or you tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see when he bowls his first ball tomorrow what can happen. Other than that, there's been a strong bowling performance, defending 128. And this is a good effort, good all-round show from the Kingsmen.
Absolutely, and such a brilliant effort also from the Seattle Thunderbolts. They were fearless. A lot of youngsters led ably by Shashwat Kohli, and he said beforehand that we have nothing to lose. We are just going to go out there and play aggressive attacking cricket. They did their best for half of the game to keep the Kingsmen at least concerned. But at the end, the Kingsmen's talent, the Kingsmen's tenacity, and for the most part, their game awareness pulled them over the line.
Yeah, match summary earlier on. We saw Milind Kumar, 31. Ramiz Raja, 30. And Osama Raza got 21. We talked about 128. And we saw good bowling performance from Primus, 3 for 19. We spoke to him at the halftime stage. And, of course, a couple of wickets for Gadapali. But in the end, Seattle Thunderbolts, perhaps not their best day with the bat. And you talked about Karthik Gadapali. Lower order 14, not good enough. And a couple of big strikes towards the end from Zia ul Haq.
Well, the Worms told the story. After the first over, the first 2 overs, in fact, they almost seemed as though they were on target for a monumental upset. But I don't think that you see much concern because at the end, they pretty much did what they needed to do to get the efforts toward getting victory in time. So at the end of this, we're going to see a lot of effort. Lenny, the semifinals, I think, are going to be 4 very strong teams, and one of those teams in the semifinals is the Kingsmen. Kingsmen have done a wonderful job getting themselves through a tricky situation, being able to allow themselves to essentially let their talent show. So in the meantime, we have Shah Faisal, who is with a special guest from this game. Over to you, Shah Faisal.
Thank you, Brian. I've got alongside me Shashwat Kohli, the losing captain for the Cardinals. I must ask you this. At the halfway stage, having restricted them to 128, what was going through your minds at that stage?
I think we did a complete performance with the ball, and it was the batters that had to step up. And like me, including myself and all the batters, we didn't do the job. So we totally take the onus for that. But hands down, like, this has been a good tournament for us. We've played very good cricket. We've had like 5-6 young players in our side, so it's been a learning curve. But yeah, a win today would have been an icing on the top. Yeah.
You talk about perfect performance in the field, and I have to ask you this. Like, this was absolutely terrific. As a captain, you must have been delighted the way your plans came together against such a big team.
Yeah, definitely. It sometimes when things, you plan a lot, but when things come together, it's really nice. And like, it's sometimes fate too, I believe. I mean, the boys did really well. I have to give the credit to them that they stuck to the plan. They executed everything perfectly. We were excellent in the field. So it's not fair that if I take all the credit. Yeah.
And overall, a fantastic tournament from you guys. You had a great victory on the opening day and qualification for the knockout stage. Atlanta Open, how has been your experience? And overall, as a tournament, how did you find it?
No, excellent. I think Atlanta Open is one of the premier tournaments of the country, and with 10 teams here, these are the top 10 teams in the country, and you have the biggest talent pool here. And if you see the games also, all games are competitive. So obviously this was amazing experience for me, this was the first Atlanta Open for me and for my team. So yeah, we'd love to come next year too.
All right. Thank you very much for the part that you played in the tournament. Hard luck for today, but all the best for the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was Shashwat Kohli. And back to you guys in the comm box.
Well, heard from the captain, Shashwat Kohli. And I would imagine that we have one or two other interviews coming up. As a reminder, this semi-final, at least this knockout match, featuring the Kingsmen and the Seattle Thunderbolts. They fought hard, but at the end, the Thunderbolts go down to the rampant Kingsmen. And we're going to eventually, I think in a few minutes, go back. Going to go back to Shah Faisal with an interview from the player who has been adjudged to be the player of the match. Shah Faisal.
Thank you very much, Brian. And the player of the match for his fantastic all-round performance today is Milind Kumar once again. And to do the honors, we got Hassan Tariq to present the medal to Milind Kumar. And congratulations, Milind, personally on your personal performance, but what a great team effort it was with the ball.
Yeah, absolutely with the ball. I like the way we came back after scoring a low score on a pretty decent wicket.
And you had a good partnership, but after that, when it came to batting, your team really couldn't capitalize on that platform. And at the halfway stage, 128, what was the mood in the camp?
It was not good though. Getting out on 128 on this wicket is not acceptable as a team, but somebody has to, manage the load. Sometimes batting doesn't happen, but the bowling has to step up. So we did. The bowling department did a great job, restricting them to 80 odd runs and, getting into the semi-finals.
Yes, coming about the semi-final as well. No rest for you guys. Back-to-back games every day. How are the bodies and how will be the rest and recovery before the semi-final?
That's what we do. We are professionals, so we have to, right up to the game, no matter what.
We've really enjoyed your game throughout the tournament. Another wonderful performance today, and all the best for tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's Milind Kumar, and Saad Ali is just on hand to join us, the winning captain. A performance that I need to start to ask you about the batting first. The batting has let you down on a couple of occasions in this tournament.
Yeah, just our batting is just a little bit struggle about maybe just tightness for the players because of the whole 2 months we played together. But this is a cricket and we are professionals, so we just try to rotate the inning. Yes.
But the luxury you have is that you got strength and depth in batting and bowling. So if your batting missed out, the bowling, they stood up today and they put their hand up and put a wonderful performance.
Yeah, our bowling is very experienced and batting as well experienced, but sometimes we collapse. So, and yeah, just I said our batsmen, don't worry, and 129 is the lowest target, but just we talk our bowlers, the belief is very strong and we are the good team and that's why we defend this target.
In the semi-final, once again coming up against Atlanta Fire. You've seen quite a lot of them recently in the big final a few weeks ago or a week or so ago.
Yeah, Atlanta Fire is a good team and yes, tomorrow is our semi-final and just try to restrict this is cricket.
Okay, well done today and all the best for tomorrow. And thank you for your performance and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Saad Ali, the winning captain, and it's time to head back for the one final time to the comm box. Over to you, boys.
Thank you so much, Shah Faisal. And I think you've seen just a few highlights here from the innings that was played by Seattle. They started off aggressively, but I think you find that there is some good quality bowling that pegged them back, Lenny.
Yeah, we saw Rahul Jariwala and Sujit Gowda. And you figured the partnership would have been these two out in the middle at that point. But we saw some very good bowling from Mohamed Ilyas. He bowled with some bit of pace. And once the Seattle Thunderbolts starting losing wicket, it was beginning to be a problem for them.
Certainly a problem and not able to generate much. One going down the leg side or at least clipping the leg stump in the eyes of the umpire. For me, the biggest issue, Lenny, was just an inability to generate any type of momentum. And you saw that beautiful delivery there from Hassan Khan failed with the glove, or the bat rather, Hassan Khan, but made up for it with the ball. And then a good couple of catches in the outfield. Sada Lee with a number of catches. Rashawn Primus flattered for a second. Again, we thought he was just going to be able to hit long, hit hard, not quite able to do it. And a couple of flashes through the offside. But this man bowling right here was the pick of the bowlers for me, for the Kingsmen. Usman Qadir, 3 wickets for 22. And then Rashawn Primus, while he tried, just did not have any support at the other end, ultimately falling loose at the end. That on the edge to Rashawn Primus, I think, sealed the deal, regardless of whether or not Karthik Gatapali was able to go over to the leg side for that big 6, and ultimately just falling short.
Yeah, Usman Qadir, you talked about how good he's been. Brian Walters, 3 for 22. And then the Pacers came back, and they put the finishing touch in another berth in the semi-final. Zia-ul-Haq, we remind you, he's picked up two strikes towards the end. Now look at that. You're not watching the replay. You're watching consecutive wickets of the bowling of Zia-ul-Haq. So, folks, there we have it. Kingsmen, an impressive victory for them. And we talked about 4 teams now in the semi-final, of course. They will take on the Atlanta Fire. Clarion Eagles will come up against Stallions X. So there you have it, folks. Elimination day today, and 2 wonderful games at the Atlanta Open. So that will do it here. Good afternoon from Atlanta, Georgia. And tomorrow, play starts at 10 o'clock. On behalf of the entire production team, Cricket 360, and all our commentators, Shaw Faisal, Brian Walters, we see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock.